Welcome to ICL on a Tuesday. Tonight is Tuesday. I've been told I don't know, and today I am joined by some amazing casters, and we're going to watch the Mad Hatters versus the Illumineer's Kitchen. We're joined by the wonderful, peaceful pacifist Gabriel.
I don't believe I've ever been described as a pacifist, and people would probably disavow that. But you know what, Luke? I appreciate it. I love you for that. And you know what? I do like peace, and I like niceness and cool things.
And not only do we have that peaceful fellow, we're with the man of two voices, Mike.
Okay, two voices is great. That's a new one, and I will take that. Hi, everyone.
And you're never gonna shift him. It's Mark. What do you have to say as well?
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Thanks for the wonderful introduction.
And last but very not least, our favorite queen of questing, Clara.
Hi, always a pleasure to be there and cast. It's been a long time.
I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Is that going to get us in trouble that I said that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
is coming.
I am so excited to get to hang out with everybody. This is great. It's all my friends together. No, I see you all at DLCs, and now we're all together here virtually. This is my favorite day right now. Tuesday is the best day.
Yeah.
I see most of you online more than in person, honestly. But that's one of the joys of going to the DLCs is we get to actually hang out with the people we only chat with online and jam games.
Wait, you guys get to go to DLCs?
Yeah.
Some of us
that's right.
have gone to
The one
every
or two.
DLC they've tried to go to.
Mike's on no-fly list. I forgot about that.
No.
True.
I'm always
Oh
trying
my
to get
God.
to DLCs.
I'm
So-
on the I have too much work list. That's my actual problem.
Not
Having a
enough
job.
vacation days. That can be a struggle as well with a lot of events.
Yeah.
That's really good.
See, I highly recommend being a stay-at-home parent with one child. Very nice, easy, comfy job. Highly recommend. But on to the Lorcana. We have the Mad Hatters versus the Illumineer's Kitchen. Now, the Mad Hatters were here last season. They had an all-right record. They did not take it all the way down to the finals. The Illumineer's Kitchen, though, they're new this season, and they're cooking up some spice. And they do have at least one player that quite a few people might recognize from the online plays with them.
Actually have a real beef with him.
I see. He has seemed quite nice the few times I've interacted with him. Any predictions for this matchup we're going to watch here? Nope.
I'm guessing that we're going to see Amber Emerald played a little bit. That's
No.
probably my big prediction.
Okay, I'm gonna say
No.
there's gonna be no Amber in the
No
two
Amber.
list. No Amber.
Very contradiction
Whoa.
predictions. Amber Emerald or no Amber. I think you might be wrong.
I'm ready. I'm
One
ready
of
to
you.
be wrong. I mean,
I was gonna say that's a bold prediction, Clara. Very bold. I appreciate that. I love when we go out on a limb. I think it's awesome.
okay, when have I not been bold?
You
That's
know what?
true.
You're right. So right.
I'm going to say if Mouth is playing, I'm just going to say he's winning because I like being a mod for him and I don't want to lose that opportunity. So I'm going to vote on Mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've officially got somebody who's willing to cast a vote. So Mike is saying Illumineer's Kitchen is gonna get this one. Now Mad Hatters, to Luke's point, they were not. They did is okay, inadequate description for how they did last season. They did okay, and I think that teams that do okay have something to prove. They've got a chip on their shoulder. Their first season did not go the way they wanted to, and there's no way that the Mad Hatters are going to let the new Illumineers on the block show up and knock them around. There's just no way. And if the Mad Hatters allow that, then they are going to have a lot to talk about in the locker room. So I have to cast my vote for the Mad Hatters here. Mad Hatters, I think, are going to take this whole thing.
Yeah, they're hungry.
I'm with you. I think Mad Hatters. They got a little more experience. They have to fall back on from playing in this type of format from the previous season. So if I had to pick a team, they're my choice right now.
I guess, are they hungry or are they thirsty? I mean, they are.
Well, the
at
good
a
thing
tea
is they're going to the
party.
kitchen, baby. So they're going to get to have their choice with the Illumineer's kitchen. That's the best part of this. If they're hungry or thirsty, the Illumineer's kitchen could potentially feed them what they need or poison them.
I'm gonna say Malferon there. I've seen him play quite a lot of games, experiment with a lot of different archetypes. So I believe they might have some spicy deck tech.
And we can all hope that he's bringing Circle of Life Hercules.
Oh no!
Is he known for playing that?
Okay.
Oh, I gave him the deck list, and he practiced it, and it's hilarious.
Oh, I hope so much that we get to see that. I love it when I just love seeing the spice. That is, the ICL is all about shaking up the meta, teaching people what cards are out there. My absolute favorite thing about trading card games is when people say that card is bad, and then my second favorite thing is when somebody comes with those bad cards and then they actually do very well with them, and suddenly they're not bad cards. That's my first and second favorite thing about trading card games.
They were bad when I told you they were bad, bro. It's not my fault that they got good later. It was bad when it came out.
Right.
It took the meta shifting
There's
to make
new
it
context.
playable.
I completely agree with Luke on this one.
We were told red was bad because, and I quote, "It's not as good as Birthing Pod," and look where we are.
I don't think it had anything to do with Birthing
It's
Pod.
still not as good as.
I don't even
Birthing
know what that
Pod.
card does. Are you referring to Retro Evolutionary Device?
Yes, I'm returning the Retro Evolution. I'm referring to Retro Device.
Why don't you explain to everyone what that card is and why is it so good?
Because I get to play things for free. That's why it's so good. It lets me play
so
things for
it's
free.
a 3-cost item that you get to exert and pay 1 and banish a character you control to play another character from your hand that costs up to 2 more than it and put it and play it for free. Very powerful, lets you ramp and cheat things. You get to play some cards like Todd, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. You're playing it for its ability, right? But it's also got Secret Singer 3. It's got turn into a 5-drop, turn into Chernabog. So you play Todd on 3, Retro Device on 4, activate, put a Chernabog into play, take down that pesky threat your opponent just played, and the game just started. They don't have anything in their discard to put into play. And all of a sudden you have some gigantic 5/4 into play. God forbid they accrued it into play on turn 3.
You can, and like that's a thing though, but like you can also play Sully and then use Retro on Sully that same turn.
That's also quite
and
good.
play a Milo. And then you bounce your opponent's stuff to their hand and the Retro triggers Milo. So you just get to draw a card after using Sully to bring back a Prince Philip or a Milo from your discard to your hand. It's great. You can even Retro Device your Milo and play Prince Philip off of it. So in theory, you only ever need 5 ink with that card.
What if you never find your 4 of in a 60-card deck, though?
Whoa.
See, my solution to that problem, as I'm playing the Retro Evolution Device and testing it, but of course with a different set of colors, is there's this beautiful card called Strike a Good Match, and you just look for it. You just look for it, and you dig, and you dig, and you dig. And let me tell you something. I find it all the time. All the time. It's crazy.
Every time I play against it, they have it. I'm not arguing that.
How hard is it to have one card? I always had Diablo, Shift, and something to discard. It happens every game. Every game.
They say that 70% of the time it works 50% of the time.
I think that's how the quote goes.
It is.
That's right.
It's so good. It's so good. But speaking of Spice, we are so excited for the ICL on a Tuesday night. Spice is everything here. We want to see it. The folks are hanging out with us in the chat. Y'all are coming in, so thank you for doing that. If you haven't already clicked all the buttons, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, do all the things. Show Luke the love of which Luke deserves. Click the buttons, okay, folks, please.
He knows how much I hate shilling myself.
I got you, buddy. I got
But
you.
we're on for some great fun tonight. Mike here is not going to be casting anything tonight. He'll be back tomorrow. He just joined us for some fun pre-show. Clara is going to be back for round number 2, and in round 1 we have Mark and Gabe. Is there anything you want to say before we hop on over to the action, Mike?
Don't forget to bet chat. Get your bets in.
Get your imaginary currency ready to go. Anything before we see you in round 2, Clara?
Well, stay tuned. I want to see you there. The action is only beginning tonight.
Let's go.
Yes, as Mike said, don't spend your human monies. Only spend your fake monies on the bets there. As we've got Matt up against the Mighty Minx, Mad Hatters versus the Illumineer's Kitchen. Mark, what are you excited to see today here on the ICL, my friend?
I just want to see quality games. I always can learn something from watching other players, and I'm hoping we get to see that today. A good display of whatever 2 decks we're up against.
I would agree. Now,
How
hopefully,
about you?
I agree. I 100% agree with that. It's one of my favorite things about casting is to be able to see these things. I learn a lot by watching. For many people who have followed you and I, of course, our histories in Lorcana are very intertwined. You came down to many a time tournaments that of a store location that is no longer around. It's currently in renovations. But if you know us from there. As we see the first indication of what Matt is playing, we see a Pluto that was paid
just like
for
that.
with a queen.
Clara
My friends, I think it's pretty obvious what it is.
bet.
Clara is out. Yeah, Clara has lost it. Sorry, Clara.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a pretty clear sign that we're looking at the Emerald Amber strategy. Very, very likely that it's going to be the Princess aggro strategy. Now, I'm going to give Matt the chance to prove me wrong here, but it's a pretty safe bet. Mighty Minx playing that Nick in the card, but it's difficult to see it. A little bit of a fidelity issue right now
there for sure.
So we're gonna try to figure that out, folks. But bear with us here as we learn more about what Mighty Minx is playing.
It looked like it might have been green, but that's about all I caught on it. So hopefully we can get that fixed up soon. And there's an Aurora, so pretty much a dead set giveaway. Yeah. Oh, and here's the ideal opener.
Yeah,
we're looking for.
If you had any hopes that Amethyst was going to be the color that followed, it is not. We knew all along. Bobby Zamurski, the spray cheese kid, of course, finding its way, getting a bit of better fidelity here. We do see that it is a Pegasus over on Mighty Minx's side, so this might be that very popular Touch Paradise version. It could be. There's been versions of this that no longer use the Touch the Sky and Paradise Falls. It could be along the lines of like the detective build. We're gonna see what Mighty Minx is running, or maybe something entirely different. What you love to say?
Yeah, I've heard of a green-red full evasive deck that's growing in some popularity, so that could be on the table as well. Definitely interested to see what we're up against, but man, they got a tall order ahead of them with basically the ideal start over there.
Seriously, and we're playing an Ursula here. I mean, this just to be able to get a peek at the hand on Matt's side, we do see that we've got a Nani, we do have David, so David's gonna be able to protect some of these characters, but conspicuous by her absence, the renowned diplomat nowhere to be found. And unfortunately, Matt's going to want to see that in order to try to keep the heat going. We want to try to draw if we're Matt. Mighty Minx. Not excited about the opening that we have here currently. We got that Grandmother Willow on turn 2. We had the 2 1-drops. We are going to go ahead and play that Nani right now. So we're going to take a look. Oh no, that's not. I'm sorry. That was Mike Wazowski. That's Mike Wazowski. We're looking at the top card, and we are revealing characters in order to decide to keep them.
Strike a good match. It looked like
it was a strike a good match.
Yeah, and our Illumineer's Kitchen player, Mighty Minx, I think is definitely hurting. Playing an Ursula on turn 2 into this deck is really not a card you want to be doing. So I'm guessing that's probably the only option they had, because this deck really doesn't play songs. So, and it's just not the best character at attacking back into or challenging back. So uphill battle here for sure.
Playing on curve is good and all, except if the cards you're playing on curve don't do anything at all. In this case, Mighty Minx just trying to keep up. Matt has got 5-6 characters currently sitting on that board, 6 glimmers. As we go ahead and we deploy another character here on curve, it looks like this is, it's I might need to decipher that for me, but we'll figure that out.
Oh, it's Wildcat. It looks
Wildcat.
like
Wildcat.
the evasive that when you exert it, you can just banish an item, I believe.
Yes, yeah. It's whenever he is exerted. So Wildcat, yes, has the ability called Disassemble. You can exert the Wildcat to banish a chosen item, and as you mentioned, Mark, it's evasive. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a 2/3
So
as well.
definitely probably leaning into an evasive strategy here overall with the deck. And it's a 3/2 stat line, right? Is that what you
It's
said?
a 2/3. 2/3.
2/3. Okay. So once again, gonna struggle to get past this David and really get the meaningful characters off the board. But we'll see if they have some big blowout card that they can turn this thing around.
Yeah. Now, I have to assume, in the ICL, the placement of your team, where you put the players, really tell a story of what you believe your opponents will be playing. So I have to imagine that the Illumineer's Kitchen, that Mighty Minx, and that team, they must have thought they were going to be going up against something that was a little bit more song heavy, something that plays items, and being punished for that meta call here. Unfortunately, Matt not rewarding Mighty Minx for these decisions. So Mighty Minx is going to have to try to muster up some tempo and figure out how to get around this. The problem is, Mark, how do you get tempo back when you're sitting 9 characters, 9 glimmers deep, dude? How do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, my brain says maybe like double malicious, mean, and scary or something might be able to kind of get things back in your favor if you can get both of those willows off the board. But outside of something like that, I can't really think of a card that's gonna allow him to do the explosive comeback that he's looking for this early in the game.
Yeah, absolutely not. And Matt right now sitting at 8 lore from that full-on exertion of the board. Mighty Mink's going to have to answer this. We are on, if my math is right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're on like a 1.1 turn clock at this point. Is what it looks like we're on, and it is not looking great for the Mighty Minx. To your point, we need to.
Oh, sorry.
Mighty Minx is a woman as well, by the way.
Great.
Yeah. So.
Perfect.
So Mighty Minx is that Eleanor? Did we find Eleanor?
Sure is.
We did. Mighty Minx finding the Eleanor before Matt. Matt digging through the deck, can't find it. Mighty Minx drawing and playing as fairly as possible, finding that Eleanor, but we're not going to be able to really utilize it to its full effect here, I don't think.
She also had a strength that you missed.
Oh.
Okay. That she
Thank you.
sung strength with the Wildcat. Okay.
That's fine. Chat, hearing the rare and indigenous Luke voice. Usually that's what we hear in the production booth. Y'all getting a sneak peek. We're peeling the curtain back, y'all, as we are seeing and learning more about what is going on here on the table. Mighty Minx trying her very best to be able to solve for this very, very problematic board that we are trying to solve for here.
Yep. Looks like they quested the Pegasus and then they challenged the Willow to get 1 damage on it. I assume they'll likely use the Eleanor trigger to finish that Willow off and buy themselves a little bit of time.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can do here. I mean, just such a slow start. I mean, if all you can do is buy yourself time, if that's the best thing you can do, you got to do it. Mighty Minx here doing that as Matt is going to go ahead and take the turn to see if they are going to solve for it. Now the question becomes, do we just keep questing into Mighty Minx's face? We're going to certainly do it with the Mike Wazowski because that is going to net us more cards. That is how the Amber Emerald aggro strategy wins. As we see in a location, I believe that was Paradise Falls.
Paradise Falls.
Finding its way to the bottom of Mighty Minx's deck, not getting rewarded for the Mike Wazowski. Ouch.
Yeah. That's 2 triggers now, I think, at least, that Mike has been successful for the Amber Emerald player and then unsuccessful for the Emerald Steel player, which really, really hurts because, like you said, the advantage that the Mike Wazowski is getting is kind of overwhelming at this point. There's just going to be so much that Mighty Minx is going to have to remove that they're really going to struggle.
Yes, as Finnick has found its way, and we're sending characters into Mighty Minx's hand here. So reducing that Eleanor's ability to get its trigger going, just making it tougher and tougher. Matt is in full on control, using Pluto's effect in order to play an additional character, just saying, you know what, I'm going to put all these characters down here, and we are going to see what is in your hand right now because of this Ursula.
The Wildcat, we know. Looks like a Thunderbolt.
So we did hit one. We did hit
An
a song.
Angel, maybe?
That is an angel. Yes, that is
an Ursula.
Yep.
And the last card is maybe Touch the Sky?
I believe.
It's really hard to tell.
I think it is Touch the Sky, yes.
Yeah. So they chose to get rid of the Bolt, which is what I would expect.
For certain. Listen, Mighty Minx can get lucky and get another one of these Paradise Falls and draw 4. And like, while Matt would win that game immediately for having done that, at least it would have been something really cool to do in this game. Okay.
I completely agree, but yeah, unfortunately, it does look like we are headed to Scoop City. Come on. As Spartan Sickles said.
Yeah, it's rough going, dude. It is so rough going here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 8 characters on Matt's side, exactly the number that we need, assuming that Eleanor does nothing, of course, to any of these characters. But rough going. We are going to go ahead and deploy a Glimmer. I want to say it's the Angel. I believe it is the Experiment 624. Yes, it is.
Yep, it is. Which is an amazing card in this matchup, to be clear. I'm assuming she probably just got it recently, because that's a card that can really, really help in this matchup substantially, with allowing you to get some of these really powerful characters under control before the engine gets fully online like it is here.
Absolutely. And, you know, Mighty Minx fighting back, doing the best that we can. We are going to knock Matt off of being able to win this game next turn here, doing that with removing the Nani with the Snowball, and going to go ahead and send in for a challenge, sending Eleanor in to challenge. I believe it was the Mike Wazowski with another character. Yep. So using 2 characters to deal with that Mike Wazowski, slowing Matt's ability to get more cards in hand.
Yeah, so unless we get the Eleanor off the top, it looks like they will get one more turn to try and stabilize the board.
And Matt deploying all the cards, taking it all the way to 19.
Something exerted, a David, it looks like a bodyguard.
Yeah, it was a
yep.
bodyguard.
So going up to 19 and says, I dare you to get rid of everything I have.
Yep. Do the worst that you can, Minx. Do what you can. I don't believe you can do it. And Mighty Minx looking at the cards that are available in her hand. And yes, we went to Scoop City, folks. We're going to take this into game 2 with the Mad Hatters winning this game 1. Mighty Minx going to have to perform the rare reverse sweep in order to take this game and get them into the second part of this thing with a victory.
I will say I'm very excited to see how this Emerald Steel deck can handle being on the play. I think it's a lot more favored for them because the Amber Emerald deck just does not have removal for evasives. They could find themselves on the back foot pretty quickly and unable to compete with the board that Mighty Minx is able to put up. But we'll see what they're able to do.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes those willows can just let you explode so quickly that you just can't catch up.
The steel elements of this Emerald Steel deck is certainly going to be very helpful in dealing with Matt. You know, to your point, Mark, you're 100% right in saying that this deck, of course, in a favorable spot here, being able to go first, can be very commanding, assuming that the altar, assuming that the hand is kind to Mighty Minx, should be able to take control of this game. If we're able to get into a game 3, if Mighty Minx is able to take this to a game 3, the steel elements is what's going to allow Mighty Minx to potentially flip this game on its head and take this game back and win on the draw. So, you know, we want to be looking for that. A lot of what we're going to be seeing is those kind of things that that might be important. And again, Mighty Minx has to climb this hill first. I'm talking about game 3, but we got to climb this hill first in order for Mighty Minx to take this.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, if I'm Mighty Minx going into game 3 now that we know against, I might ship all 7 cards if I don't get an angel in my opening hand. Like, that's how much that card can really help square this matchup up for you throughout the course of a game. And we'll see, like you said, if the altar is going to be kind to her if we get to that step.
Yeah, you're right. That angel is big here. It's weird because this altar, I will say, having played this deck a few times, the altar here can be weird because if you get pieces of that combo, if you get pieces of Touch the Sky and Paradise Falls, and you're trying to make decisions as to like what do you keep, what do you send away, but you see that angel and you're going up against Amber Emerald, you want to keep that and potentially slowing your ability to get the combo. I mean, drawing 4. And I say 4, but sometimes you draw 8, and sometimes you draw 12 with this thing in the same turn, and you're going to want all those cards because that'll A, get you to that angel if you don't already have the angel, and B, you need snowballs. You need snowballs to fling.
That's very true.
So it's
But
tough.
you can easily lose the game with 12 cards in hand. You can have all the cards in the world. If you can't play those cards by the time you lose, they only do so much for you. So I totally understand what you're saying, though. The temptation, if you have the combo, is very, very strong, and for good reason. Because, like you said, I mean, that's a tremendous amount of card advantage you can get from that combo.
Oh
but
my gosh. What's better than 1 angel, Mark?
2 angels?
2 angels and 12 cards in your hand, dude. That's what. Okay.
That's true. But you can only play 1 a turn. That's the thing.
That's fair.
You're
not
just
wrong.
a little too fair. The Willow lets you play them cheaper and faster. But no. And I mean, you definitely do need the ammunition. But I will say part of the ammunition part, I mean, obviously it didn't work out well for Mighty Minx that last game, but the Amber Emerald strategy does often have Mike Wazowski in it, and sometimes it even has Miriam, which forces cards into your hand, so you can use that for extra snowballs as well.
Absolutely.
And you don't always have to rely only on your ability to draw cards.
It's so true. It's so true. I gotta say both of these decks, both of these archetypes in the meta here in our kind of post rotation meta, I think it has been really refreshing to see. Maybe some people maybe not agreeing with me on the Princess aggro, maybe feeling like the aggro Amber Emerald could go away. We've seen that a little bit towards the end here, but I will say that the Amber Emerald aggro strategy is nowhere near as oppressive as it was pre-rotation. So it's really good to see that the meta's kind of
not agree more.
It's like shifting and moving and morphing, and we're seeing just you talking about some of these new deck types that might be coming up, and we're like in the middle of this format, and there's still so much to discover. I'm really enjoying what we've gotten from Attack of the Vine. I'm really enjoying what we've gotten from this rotation. So huge shout out to the designers, to the developers of this game for really, putting the tests on these cards, helping them to be very balanced and to really create the ability for players to design decks that can be successful at the right moment in the meta.
Very, very well said. Yeah, it's been unbelievably well balanced in all of the testing and playing that I've done. All right, it looks like we got through our altar, inked something, and we played something. I cannot tell what it is. How about you, Gabe? You know what that is over there in the corner?
I cannot see it, but I trust that it's a
gonna
legal
guess
play.
It's Todd.
It is a Todd.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a Todd. As we see Pluto finding its way over on Matt's side of the board. Matt trying to make some discounts going nice and early here.
Yeah. And I don't remember the stats on that Todd. Is it a 1-2 or is it a 2-2?
The Todd is a 2-2.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So it can challenge that Pluto, which is a very, very big deal. And then here it looks like we have another Todd. The 2-drop?
No, that's a Vixie. That's Vixie. So the coolest thing about
Vixie.
So the cool thing about the Todd is that Vixie has that ability that allows her to be played for 1 less if Todd is in play.
Perfect.
So we're able to play Vixie, which is normally a 3-cost card. We're playing her on 2. She is evasive. She's a 1/3, and she quests for 2. Huge play here. This can allow Minx to be faster than Matt if we can keep applying pressure on the board here.
Yeah. So this is pretty much the perfect curve and start that you would want, I would assume, on the Mighty Mink side. Like you said, you played this deck
Yes.
a few times. I haven't actually played it myself. I've
Oof.
seen it a few times.
You're missing out. It's so much fun.
Are you liking it?
I'm
Yeah.
loving it. Yeah, it is so much fun. And to the point, yeah, this is pretty close to what you want to start with. What's really cool, especially with what Matt has currently on the board, we got that Pluto. So if Matt got brave and tried using that Pluto effect to play something at a discount, was going to get punished. So Matt put in a position, was able to play that Pocahontas and was able to play Thomas for free as a result of that guiding the way ability. And so, Matt trying to be very conservative here, trying to make sure that we have 3 characters potentially for an Eleanor on its way coming up in the next turn here. The question becomes, what is Mighty Minx? What are we able to deploy? I believe we inked a Touch the Sky, so we either are tight on ink or we have more than one as we deploy. Oh, was that another?
Or is there a chance you just don't have Paradise Falls?
Oh,
also.
What we did was we shifted.
Todd here?
Yes, we shifted
Or
Todd
shifted Vixie?
to the Todd and Copper team. So the Todd and Copper team is what's currently on there. So that's what we just saw happen there.
Okay.
Yep. That is another evasive card. So we turn that 2/2 vanilla into a 3/3 evasive that also quests for 2.
Yeah.
So we're just applying a
Doesn't
lot
get
of
much better
power.
than this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're questing for 5 in the air. Really no way for Matt's deck to get back at those characters. Their real only out is out questing essentially by just developing so many more characters and questing power that they can maybe start winning that way. I mean, Eleanor can definitely start putting some meaningful damage on things, but outside of that,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
we
really
didn't have
uphill.
Eleanor. What we have, my
Nope.
friends, is Dale. Dale is on the table right now over on Matt's side. So Matt did not find the Eleanor. Eleanor probably would be what Matt's looking for, but Matt trying to stay on curve, opting to play that Dale and creating a situation now where challenging into Matt's characters is very uncomfortable. You're looking at a Thomas that is now, if you challenge it, 4 strength. A Pluto that is now a 2/2. And so Mighty Minx, seeing that, is singing Strike a Good Match and is trying to get more answers into the hand, choosing to discard a card, of course, and we're going to try to keep deploying more threats to the board.
And that's an interesting choice to me. I think I'd be inclined to maybe just keep questing, just keep the gas on, but it obviously depends dramatically on what's in their hand. If they don't feel like they have a great on-curve play, then it makes a lot more sense to do that kind of thing, to just keep developing the board. Is that the Angel?
That is Angel. Yeah, that's the Experiment 624.
Okay.
Yeah, and this has got to feel really good. You talked about this really early on in this game, having something now that can deal with Matt's board, deal with that Pluto, and just to start to put pressure in the opposite direction. This is such a good way for Minx to start, and Minx has got to be feeling pretty good about where this game is going right now.
Yep, no question. And it looks like they opted to not discard to get the Pluto off the board, which I think is a perfectly reasonable choice. Once again, if you feel like you already have the advantage in your favor and you like the cards that you're sitting on, then there's no reason to just do it because you can. So I'm totally okay with that choice.
Eleanor's here, folks, and she's joined by Pluto. Eleanor is going to start to trigger, and Matt says, we're going to go ahead and send everything on a quest here. I need to start getting back some of this tempo that I lost, and Eleanor is going to start to deal with the board, but very, very little. There's nothing evasive, so we're just going to start pinging stuff little by little. Matt going all the way to 7 lore with that Eleanor trigger.
And now we got a game. Just like that. Eleanor hits the board, and we are back at, okay, maybe it's not the runaway we thought it might be for the Emerald or the Emerald Steel player.
It's not. It is
like
not.
A Pegasus.
It is. It is a Pegasus, and I believe we followed it up with look what you've done. Look what you've done. New to Attack of the Vine. If I'm reading this correctly, we discarded that card with the Angel Experiment 624, which will deal 2 damage per Angel's effect. the look what you've done says that when you've discarded this card, you can then play it for its full price. So paying 2 more. So we're able to deal 4 damage now, and we're opting to deal with the Dale because that'll allow us to challenge into the remaining characters and reduce the power of that Eleanor. Do our very, very best to get Eleanor back in control. She's too renowned. We need to get her to be less famous.
100%. Yeah, this is a really good turn here for Mighty Minx. If they're able to get enough off the board, it looks like they could get the Pocahontas if they wanted to, but Eleanor would still be able to trigger, and I don't know if Mighty Minx has cards left in their hand or not.
I'm
Without
not
the
sure.
resist,
Yeah,
that lets the angel die, so or be banished, and I don't know that we want to give that angel up
no,
because of
absolutely
that
not.
recurring value.
It is so good. It's been so powerful into this matchup right now. Its value super increased right now. I see that being the case. Of course, Eleanor here has a nice and easy target.
Oh,
Just kidding.
no.
We've got 2.
Not the double Eleanor.
We've got 2.
Oh no.
Eleanor's here in stereo, folks. This is scary.
Yeah, this is not what you want, because now the angel already has 1 damage on it, and they're going to get punished for that.
Yes.
Assuming, yeah, it looks like they have 1 card over there
Yes,
at least.
they do.
So.
They do.
Oh, and they get 2 cards and 2 lore.
It is rough. These Eleanors may have just completely flipped this game for Matt. What looked like it was Mighty Minx's game, suddenly we're spiraling out of control here. We are veering and whatever, spiraling and spinning and losing all tempo and control. It is crazy what these Eleanors are doing to this board right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know about you, but in my experience, if they ever get off a double Eleanor trigger, I mean, it really feels like the game's over. Like, it's just so overwhelmingly powerful.
Yeah.
The amount of value you get is crazy.
It is, and we have
the Genie Evasive.
Yes,
a
Genie
great card
of the Lamp, powerful card, beautiful enchanted. By the way, Genie of the Lamp is an evasive card. When this character is exerted, your other characters gain +2 strength. Very powerful card, but the question becomes: is it too little, too late? Is it too little, too late?
That's exactly right. Unfortunately, it is not our old friend Cricky. It does not have its effect on play. It has to be exerted. So it's a card that I really like in certain matchups, and it's really powerful, but it really stinks in times like this where you just feel like you just needed that burst this turn, not next turn, to really put the board back into your favor.
Yeah, that's rough going. We're at 13 lore. We have 5 characters on the board. It'll quest us to 18 plus 2 Eleanor triggers. I believe that is the game here. And Matt just doing the math and confirming that to be true. So we're gonna go ahead and quest all the way up to 18.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then
the 2 at the end of turn
puts this game, my friends,
we'll do it
at a 2-0, and that leaves us with Mighty Minx and the Illumineer's Kitchen going into round 2 with a loss. They're going to have to make up the difference here. The Mad Hatters, congratulations on your round 1 victory tonight here on ICL on a Tuesday night. And with 30 minutes left, I have to imagine that production is scrambling right now to find us another game.
Find us something else.
But before they do that, I'm sure we're going to get an interview with Matt, and we'll be able to speak and learn more about the deck and the strategy, and ask all the questions. So start thinking about questions you want to ask, Mark, because I'm sure we're going to get that. But talk to me about what you thought you were going to see from that matchup and what you saw from that matchup. I'm curious, what are your thoughts before and after?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody that's followed me, I'm a huge Emerald Aggro fan. I think the deck is probably still the most powerful overall deck in the format. So I'm not surprised to see it take the win. However, I am surprised that it was able to squeak out that game too. I do wonder if there were some decisions that could have gone another way to help the Amber or the Emerald Steel player win the game. But once again, without knowing their hand, it's really hard to judge or say if they did anything wrong. They might have just done the best with what they had, and it just wasn't quite enough into double Eleanor. I mean, that's really, really hard to overcome no matter what deck you're playing. But yeah, I mean, typically in my experience, if they can land an early angel against you, you are going to struggle to win that game because angel, like we've said a couple times, just gets so much recurring value. But obviously, it wasn't enough there.
Yeah, I mean, didn't see the songs that we needed. We didn't get to see. I think across
No
both games.
strength.
Yeah, I think we saw one Strength of Raging Fire across
One in the
both
first
games.
game. Yeah.
We saw one Thunderbolt that got dealt with by an Ursula. So you know the aggro player Matt finding the ways to deal with those songs, and then just not finding them in general. I think that was a big issue for Mighty Minx. And you know, to your point, we did get the Angel out, and the Angel had a pretty strong turn, but just Eleanor is so powerful, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of players are seeing themselves still playing this Princess aggro deck. Is because even though it has some decks, some things that you can do that on paper appear to be dangerous for them, for example, Steel, in some cases, because of Eleanor, because of what that deck can do, sometimes it still just wins, even in the face of what's supposed to be a tough matchup for them.
That's exactly right. I completely agree.
Such a good deck, such a strong deck, and you know, people
Yeah.
worry like, is aggro like a strategy that is currently warping the meta? I'd have to say it is. I think that what's happening right now, what we're seeing is that there are people that are playing it, and there's people that are playing the counter to it. And then you've got, of course, like that third like spoke of the wheel, that third like point of the triangle, which is like, I'm gonna exist somewhere in the middle. Like, you guys fight it out. you two deal with each other, and I'm gonna come in and clean up what I can from the inside. So it's
Yep.
interesting. Like, this is we're seeing the meta kind of really shape around that way. I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah. You know, and like you were saying earlier, I mean, this meta has just been unbelievably diverse. As I'm trying to prepare for upcoming tournaments, it's really been a lot of, you know, pulling my non-existent hair out, figuring out what the right deck is, because there's just so many good decks and so many decks that you have to consider. How is my deck going to do if I run into this deck? And that can be quite the headache, but it makes for really, really fun games, a lot more engaging, a lot more diversity, which I think is just fantastic for the game overall. And like you said, a really, really good testament to how good of a job the designers did
Yeah.
getting us ready for this post rotations.
I'm telling you, Continentals is going to be so much fun to watch. I'm excited to watch Continentals. I know a lot of high level players. I've been talking to a bunch of them. I'm friends with a bunch of them. Friends that are of people going to all the Continentals. Some of the people going to Worlds, and I hear the same thing, and they're pretty verbal about it. And they say, "Man, this meta it's so rough to deal with. Like, it's such a tough meta to try to solve and figure out." And so while we as viewers of the game, as historians even, are appreciating this, it being on the inside of it, having to go to Continentals, having to, potentially having to go to Worlds in a format like this, they're struggling hard. They're on the struggle bus for sure.
Oh, big time. Yes. I am right there with them.
Oh, and I'm hearing, yes, how's it
Hello,
going?
hello.
Congratulations to Matt.
Congrats.
Hard-earned victory here for the Mad Hatters. So talk to me, Matt. Talk to me a little bit about what you queued up. You came in. You were number one showing up here. You were going to be the first in line. You showed up with aggro. What were you anticipating your opponent to be on? What were you hoping to see, and how did that go for it? Talk to us about your game.
Yeah, I think with the meta being still relatively new after rotation, there's a lot of possibilities out there. There's a lot of what ifs, and especially playing a new team that I don't know a whole lot about. I am a very comfortable player with aggro. I know the lines. I know how to be aggressive, but when to play conservative. And so we kind of decided as a team, let me come out of the gate fast and see if we can get us a hot start. Which would take the pressure off the other teammates. To obviously we want to go 3-0, right? We want to get the perfect night, especially being on featured stream. But I'm very comfortable with this deck and this build. I was at the Inc. event last week, or a weekend ago, and I was hoping that I would see something that wasn't purple, honestly. And when I saw the green steel colors, I thought, okay, this is something I know what they're going for. I know the touch the sky combo when it starts firing off is going to be very difficult, and I just need to get under that. So I was trying to stick to a fast line and just go for it.
And it was, and you did. Yeah, you did your plan to a T, and yeah, it looked like you were very comfortable with the deck. Your lines looked to be pretty much perfect for me, which was great to see. You know, the powerful deck on full display. So great job there. Have you gone against the Touch the Sky deck, and you feel like Amber Emerald is favored in that matchup overall?
Well, I will tell you, I wish I was a little more knowledgeable about the current meta. In my personal life, I do a lot of community theater, and I was in musical production, Big the Musical, during the release of the set. And so I was at tech night every night, show week, you know, and kind of had enough time to get my product and crack open packs, but not really any time to test. So I am very comfortable with my deck. I know how to navigate as an aggro player against situations. But I'll be honest and say that I really don't know most of the decks out there. I've heard of them. I know about the Retro Evolution device. The Circle of Life version of that whooped me at Ink Inc. And kind of made me say, okay, look out for that. So I wish I was more comfortable. I knew that I didn't want to see that deck get going. And without knowing exactly what it was going to do to me, it was like, I know how to go fast and I know what I need to do. And I know I've got another Eleanor in my hand, so I can turn Dale here, even though he's going to get taken out. He's probably going to get taken out anyway. And it turned out to be the right call and paid off for me.
Yeah, which
Perfect.
actually, I have a question for you. So when you played that Dale, I'm curious, did you have the Eleanor and then chose to play the Dale, or did I got to know?
Actually, looking back at my hand in that moment, I had 2 Dales and 2 Eleanors. And I had to ink the Dale to get the other Dale on the board. And then I drew a Pluto the next turn, which had he been inkable, I could have gone. It put me in a very tight corner. And I thought, God, you know, I want the Eleanor first because I can obviously, I've got 3 to trigger her. But if I put her down and my board gets taken out and then I can't recover. So maybe the Dale gives me a better math-wise matchup to where it gives me the advantage of the challenge. And then, you know, I like to play by not so much of that, oh, well, my opponent's going to have this and they're going to beat. Hey, if you got it, great, you'll win. If you got that strength in your hand and I don't have the tool to rip it, good game, GG's. Yeah. But I like to kind of force you to have it. And so I knew there that gave me more options and probably led to then being able to follow Eleanor with the second Eleanor. And I had the third Eleanor in my hand. I didn't play it because I just thought that's, you know, like, why do I need to be like, So at that point, I felt very comfortable and kind of said, I'm going to be able to get there. Even if she takes out a character or 2 every turn, I can replenish so fast with this deck. It's so low to the ground that I felt pretty good.
Yeah. I thought that that Dale had a pretty good impact on like kind of freezing the board a bit, kind of forcing that. So yeah, I saw that play and I kind of identified that as being like either he doesn't have the Eleanor, or he's trying to slow this game down so that way you can flip it back on his head, which is exactly what you ended up doing because it looked like it was in her favor for a little bit there in the beginning, and then you were able to flip that on its head. You found that moment. I always compare Lorcana to chess, and I always compare chess to like skipping rope. Like you're trying to keep up with the tempo. You got to jump at the same time that the rope is jumping. You got to play on pace, and then sometimes you just got to overtake it, and then you got to make the run for it. And you found that moment. So I thought that was awesome to see. Great job with that. Very, very well played, and putting your team in a very, very strong position here. So Matt, I'm going to give you the opportunity. I want to make sure you get a chance to shout out anybody that you want to shout out before we move forward and see if the Mad Hatters can take the night or if the Illumineer's kitchen will cook the Hatters.
First of all, I want to say I hope everyone just has a great night and great fun. I love this game. I love this community so much. I've been playing it for a year, and I want to just shout out the community in general. It's been the best decision. Specifically, I want to shout out Jason and Cody, the 2 guys, and Rick, the 3 guys that got me into the Mad Hatters, the reason I'm here, and the wonderful team that we have. And the rest of the team, good luck, guys. Do well tonight. Don't get in your head. We're on featured match, but that's okay. Play yourself, play your deck. You know what to do. We know what to do. So this has been great. And thank you guys for putting this on. We joined last season, and it was one of the highlights of my last couple of months. And I got to tell you that I've been chomping at the bit just waiting for the ICL to start back up. So Let's do it.
Matt, you and me
did
both.
a great job again. Yeah, man. And congratulations on a great win for your team. And yeah, hopefully they can take it home.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Great job. As we jump into a game already in progress, we have the Lore Lab, which with CJ Pena versus the one of the newest teams here as well, Manifest. And when I say newest team, I mean like they announced who their members were like last week. So like pretty new team here, as we have Alex over on the right side here, and we are looking pretty similar as what we saw on Alex's side. We're seeing the emerald, emerald steel.
The emerald steel for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, but it looks like a different variant.
It is.
Without question.
It is, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We got CJ Pena right now. We know that we're playing Amethyst. I see a Willow in the discard pile, so we are. It looks like we're playing Amber Amethyst over on CJ Pena style. So Alex, for those of you that maybe you don't follow the meta as much as I do, because I'm a nerd and I like doing that kind of stuff, you're seeing here launch pads and you're seeing Darkwing Ducks. And so one of the major differences between this and what we are calling the Touch the Sky Paradise Falls or the Touch Paradise version is that instead of having like that really explosive draw with the Touch the Sky Paradise Falls combo, what this deck generally will do is it opts for just more steady, more stable draw in the form of the Darkwing Duck into the launch pad. So it generally will remove itself of the location and that action, and instead focus on a more consistent experience. Some players that have played both versions are saying that this version is more stable. Some people are saying the explosiveness of the Touch Paradise version, you just can't beat it. And there's a bit of a quarrel in the Emerald Steel community around it, as we see Alex with a huge board, CJ Pena trying to survive. CJ here trying to just keep characters on the board.
Yeah, and that was a really, really strong turn for the Emerald Steel player there, developing an Angel and then singing Zeus's Thunderbolt onto Demona, and then letting the Angel snowball go and finish that Demona off is really, really big. Yeah, like you said, the board state's getting really overwhelming here on the Emerald Steel side. But depending on the variant of Amethyst and Amber here, there could be a card like Raging Storm in the mix that could easily turn the game right back in CJ's favor. So we'll see.
Yeah, as we see a Hades making a deal, finding its way onto the table. CJ trying to get some advantage here, trying to, if not on the board, then at least in the hand. And Alex saying, no, I really appreciate where I'm sitting at right now in my board. You go ahead and draw 2 cards, but that is a dangerous prospect because we are fueling CJ's ability to continue applying pressure, as Dumbo will go ahead and quest, I believe, because we did not have enough ink to do the making history ability here.
Which is an interesting choice. I mean, he chose to play the Illumineer instead of getting the draw off of Dumbo. So either he really, really wants to match the board state and try to get, as wide as his opponent, or he has what he wants in hand already and didn't really feel like he had to get the draw in.
Or here's option C. We're rocking a World's Greatest Criminal Mind, or we're rocking a Gaston, and we're hoping to maybe deploy it next turn by boosting and supporting one of our opponents. It could be that too. So
that's very, very possible, and maybe even I'd say likely. Yeah, I see a lot of Gastons into these decks now. Occasionally, World's Greatest Criminal Minds I still see too. So that seems quite possible.
And Alex is just going full force here, sending
that's
in
a lot of
all
questing
these
power.
characters, so much, as it takes us all the way up to 16. Oh my goodness. CJ looks like we're about to look at a game 3 here, because Alex is just full steam ahead.
Got a lot that he has to answer to at least give himself the chance for another turn.
Yeah, certainly. We see there's so much to be had here. CJ thumbing through the cards. Is that anxiety? Is that just a bravado of CJ saying, I still have this? We're gonna find out momentarily, as CJ is organizing the characters to try to decide what is really the best use of them. But CJ, it looks like the best use of them is to
Two.
get shuffled back into the deck and to restart this game as we go into a game 3.
Yeah. And I like to see that. I think that's one thing I try to tell newer competitive players that aren't experienced is, yeah, you might be able to fight your way back, and maybe he could have got himself one more turn. But at some points, when there's only so much time left in the round, you got to just make the call and say, it's just not worth it. I'm going to give this one up and say, yeah, let me try and give myself a chance to win on the play again.
Yeah, and both of these decks can take against each other. They can take a little bit longer than average. I will say that just and I want you to, if you've seen this as well. I'm just curious, but my experience has been that generally speaking, the meta is a little bit faster, and that even like the control decks, like control deck versus control deck, isn't that bad on the timing. I don't know if I'm the only one experiencing that, or if you've gone to time, or if you've
Yeah, overall, I'm not having any issues with it, but I do think there are definitely certain board states that can really
Yeah.
stalemate. Like, purple decks going against each other can definitely get really stalematey if nobody finds the Demona. But then there's like, if they have it,
Yeah.
then the game just moves along very quickly from there. But in general, I think the rate of play has been just fine. But there are definitely some matchups and times where it goes longer than you'd expect. I was playing Amber Emerald last week, or the week, whenever we played now, I don't remember. I ended up going to time against an Amethyst Amber deck, just because there were just really stalled up board states and a lot of very, very important decisions on, there were 6 or 7 characters that I have to figure out the math on what can he do to me and I got to do to him.
Yeah.
So it definitely can happen.
100%. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, we'll never get away from it entirely for sure. And you're right. I think that matchup in particular, the Amber Amethyst matchup, can get that way. To your point, especially if we don't find those tricks that let us force the exert on our opponent's side.
Yep.
Goodness.
All right.
Both players
Looks
get their
like
altar completed. Going to make some decisions as CJ is. Oh, CJ currently.
I don't
doing,
think the altar's
yeah,
finished.
yeah,
Right?
I was about to say
they just
CJ
got
currently
theirs
doing the
done.
altar. Yeah. So they're doing the altar now. The magic number right now. And actually, here's another question for you, Mark. When you're doing the altar, the cards that are face down, are those the cards that are going away, or are those the cards you're keeping?
That's a good question. I don't know if I'm always consistent on it. More often than not, they're the cards that I'm going to keep are the ones that are face down.
And then I've got a 2B question. Okay, so CJ is about to draw these cards, right? Do you look at them first, or do you shuffle up and get the game go? Like, do you get to the game? Like, do you care to see the cards before?
Hardly ever look at them. And no, every now and then I'll look if it's like one card or something, and then I'll just look at it and take a peek. But more often than not, I just set them down and say, all right, they are what they are, and we'll see them in a second.
You know what? I think that's why I like you so much, Mark. You just like me. I
Yeah.
looking at maybe it's superstitious. I don't know, but like I think what is looking at them going to do is what I think. I said the cards are cards.
Where I'm at.
It's like turn 1 is going to be ink something, play something. So I got a whole other turn to like digest this hand. So let me not give my opponent any indication as to what's going on in my hand.
100% agree with you there.
Which I love the token here. This little Lore Lab token. CJ
Very
and Lore Lab team, let's talk. I'd love to if you want to gift me one of those. I'd love to see one of those. Those look a lot of fun. I want like every trinket from I want every trinket from Never. Like, dude, where's my?
a great one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where's my tchotchkes, dude? Like, where's
but
my?
You're not gonna be in. You're not going to Continentals.
I will be in an LCQ, and if I have my way, I'll be playing with you. I'll be playing with you in Nats too.
On day 2, darn
Let's
right.
go, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have a bunch of them. I always bring them to every tournament. So if anybody wants a nice piece of Never Shifted, so what do I not have one? You might have seen it if you've watched some of my games, but we have a really cool token that also has a little sleeve discount as well. So come see me if you ever do run across me anywhere, and I'll almost certainly have them on me if it's a card game event.
Let's go. Are you going to CCS next week or this week?
Oh, don't bring that up.
Okay.
Don't bring it up.
I will
it's
not
a
talk
sore
about it.
subject. I'm I'm the 117th person, so I wasn't invited.
No.
Unfortunately, I was bubbled out, even though I had the same record as like 7 other people. So I'm quite sad about that, but that's the way card games go sometimes.
It is.
We've all been on the bubble more than once.
Yeah, goodness knows I've had my fair share of being on the bubble. As we see CJ dropping a Grandmother Willow, Alex matching, or I should say Alex being able to match the Louisa.
2/2.
Yep.
Darkwing Duck, but it opens up the shift line. Obviously, I assume that must be in the deck.
The terror that flaps in the night, taking out the Grandmother Willow.
What does this card do?
It deals 2. So it is a grab. It is a fire the cannons unless you have Darkwing Duck down, and then it's a smash. So it does 2 damage. But if you got Darkwing Duck down, it deals 3 damage.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge thing, is keeping them off of going from 2 to 4, which is what they want to be doing as the Amethyst and Amber player. But luckily for him, he had the Cheshire Cat. Normally, they're banking on the fact that you don't have an answer that's going to get them off of that curve, and you can kind of steal a turn basically by just making them ink and pass. So yeah, that was really good. But Cheshire Cat's a great answer.
It is a fantastic answer. It's such a good card. I mean, I think that it's a card that people still respect. You have to respect it. And it's funny. I feel like people respect it more than they respect some of the scarier cards, like a Bell, even during its heyday. And as we see Mushu find its way onto the table here, this is an evasive card. It is a 3/2, and it has the effect that whenever Mushu quests, if you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you can draw a card. So this does represent the ability to keep your hand fueled, assuming that your opponent's hand is a little bit further ahead than yours.
Yep, and it's evasive, which is fantastic. Makes it pretty safe from a lot of threats in the game.
It does. Now, I will say that
the tricky part can be if you're on the draw.
Correct.
Sometimes you just can't get the draw off of them, but
yeah,
I don't know, what the hand sizes are exactly, but because he has inked and played a character every turn, he might be able to draw off the Mushu here.
Yeah, potentially. Now, we talk about the evasive being such a powerful effect, but one of the reasons why you would be inclined to play an Amber Amethyst strategy is because it has access to cards such as the Horseman Strikes. So you got to watch out. If there's a Horseman Strikes waiting, it can deal with these evasive characters pretty well. As we see Rapunzel, the Tower Defender, finding her way to the table, which will allow Alex to discard a card and have CJ take a card from the board back to hand here.
Definitely forces the Mushu value for sure, so he can get that card back. I don't know if he had to do that to draw the card or not. If he did, then it was definitely the right play, and I mean, definitely a good tempo swing. So giving up, I couldn't quite see what he discarded. That's the big issue with Rapunzel, right? Is you have to discard a card.
Correct. You got to.
Looks like it might be another Rapunzel that he discarded.
It was, yes.
Okay.
It was another Tower Defender. So Tower Defender making way for a Tower Defender to do Tower Defender things.
That's right.
Oh yes, beautiful card, beautiful art, by the way. Love the art on this Rapunzel.
Gorgeous.
It is so good.
Yeah. Art, as always, continues to be out of control this set, as well as many previous sets. So many beautiful cards. All right, so he's going to be able to look at the top 4 cards and find any character he wants and reveal it, and then add it to his hand. Yeah. So that's a really strong card that just helps you find what you need. So I'm assuming he's probably going to be looking for an evasive answer so that this Mushu doesn't get out of control, or maybe just some top end stuff like a Louisa shift. Like, I'm not sure exactly what he'd be looking for besides some sort of evasive answer, but there's plenty of big bodies. Mrs. Incredible would be really good, something like that.
Yeah, a Hades to maybe force a decision of choosing the Augustin. This is indirectly an answer to this Mushu, to the evasives, assuming that we have a Gaston, assuming that we have World's Greatest Criminal Minds. So
Yep.
even if we don't have a Headless Horseman, we still can kind of deal with these things, and that's a lot of the power of the Amber Amethyst strategy. Is but we opted to ink it. Maybe we have a second one. We opted to, no, we did have
He
a second
did.
one.
It got
You
bounced.
scared me.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
So.
I almost forgot about that. Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, but that's exactly the benefit of this strategy, is that it has so many ways to deal with characters so efficiently. It can deal with the board by exerting everything. It can deal with the board by exerting things one by one. And if I can't exert it, and if you're playing an evasive, I can either Horseman Strikes it, or I can Augustin Quest support that character and then use one of my my Gaston or my World's Greatest Criminal Mind. So many answers in the Amethyst
Yeah, and
strategy.
Augustin is a very hard card for a steel deck to deal with because he has so much health.
Yes. Yes.
Normally,
3/6.
you're not going wide enough that a single strength can deal with them, so it's usually a combo of removal, and you don't generally
No.
want to be doing 2-for-1s to
No.
deal with cards if you can avoid it.
Yeah,
It's
and
usually a recipe for disaster.
leaving damage everywhere is not great either when you're rocking a Cheshire Cat. The opposite of what
That's
you
a
want to be doing.
no-no.
As we see Eleanor
There's
finding its way
Eleanor.
under the table.
Okay.
Eleanor now we've seen it now like 6 times in round 1 here. You gotta love it.
Yeah, every game basically.
This is Eleanor's world, and we're just living in it, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running Emerald, there's probably no reason to not run the best card, but there are quite a few decks that don't run it. It just doesn't fit in some of the archetypes, but she is so incredibly powerful. Oh, and there's a strength for 4. Okay, so the cat is dealt with.
Yep, the cat is out of the bag, Mark, as they like to say.
Oh man, the amount that card gums me up more than any other card. You can see some of my Twitter posts about it. No card has drawn my ire like the Cheshire Cat. When I was talking earlier about the stalled board states that can really slow a game down, that is my #1 culprit card.
It's crazy. Like, of all the cards that exist in Lorcana, I mean, we're talking about, because I agree with you. Cheshire Cat bugs me in a way that, like, not even Demona bugs me. Like, Demona's like, okay, that's kind of annoying. But Cheshire Cat, I look at that cat, I'm like, everything about you is terrible. Like, I mean, everything about you.
4 health? Why do you have 4 health? Everything about you is off. I completely agree. All right, and so we're trying to decide where we want this 1 damage to go. It looks like some indecision here on the Eleanor ping, and the decision was made that we're going to leave it on Louisa. I assume a card was drawn there off of the Eleanor trigger as well. And back to CJ. Let's see what answers we can come up with. Because as we saw in the previous games, if you don't have an efficient answer for this Eleanor soon, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah. Every turn that Eleanor gets to do that trigger, the percentage point of your ability to close that game just increases and increases every turn that you let that thing tick through. Hades here
this is a great decision.
Yeah, you gotta love it. And Alex, of course, it feels like it was almost a snap, like draw 2. Like, it wasn't even a thought.
There's almost no world. But the reason why I really like that decision is because on board, anyway, unless he has some way to get characters in exerted, the Augustin should be able to take out the Rapunzel, and then the Louisa can trade with the Darkwing Duck and stop the Eleanor triggers from happening, which is really the key that we need to get to.
Yep. CJ heard you, bud. CJ heard every word of what you just said and is doing exactly what you talked to. Good job, CJ, on following the good advice.
Exactly. Yeah, CJ's a local friend of mine. I've known him pretty much from the start of Lorcana, so he's a good player. I expect him to more often than not make the play that I'm seeing. But like we've said a couple times, without hand context, there's a lot of reasons to do different things.
Absolutely. That's my favorite thing about this game, is just like the amount of people that they know the right answer, but sometimes we don't get all the information. And you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You know, people they keep. That's how I keep a job here in the casting community. Okay, is talking about games that I have no business talking about. So you know what? Shout out to all you quarterback commentators. I love you. Thank you for being there. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
That's right. Someone's got to keep them in line. Someone's got to get the Twitch yapping about how we're wrong.
Yeah. Or
Thanks for taking one for the team.
Exactly. Or like every time I misspeak and I'm like, yeah, singer 7 for Under the Sea. It's like, no, you dope. It's singer 8.
Right.
Listen, okay, it's been 12 rounds. Leave me
How
alone.
long have you been around? It's clearly 8.
It's one of my favorite songs. I'm sorry. I'm tired. let me
Yeah.
sleep. As we
All
see
right, so we're
Darkwing Duck.
choosing. Yeah, that can't be his first choice, I would guess, unless he just wants to get wide, which obviously he does with Eleanor. So it
Yeah,
might just be
a
that.
second Eleanor, in fact. It's
Another Eleanor.
Yep. So we've got 2 Eleanors, but we're opting to deal with the board here. So we're going to delay on doing anything other than challenging into this board. Alex is setting up for a very, very strong upcoming turn here with these 2 Eleanors. If these Eleanors can survive and this Darkwing Duck can survive, this will be pretty strong. Oh wait, I think there's some
An issue. I thought Mushu swung for 3 into the Augustin. That looked good to me.
Yeah, so I think
Mushu
yeah, exactly.
lives somehow.
So I think there might have been a take back. There might have been an allowed take. I think that there was a take back instead of challenging with the Mushu. I believe that Alex
He put 3 on the Eleanor.
Yes,
Okay,
is opting to
that's
instead challenge with the Eleanor. Yes.
Okay, that's
And because it was the
perfectly reasonable.
most immediate action, that is allowed, and of course there is a judge in that room, so that decision was not made without a judge. Oh my goodness,
So
that is
now
huge.
he gets to punish him for making that take back.
That is
a little bit.
Such a huge punish here. That is so bad. Dealing with the 2 characters. Oh my goodness! In one challenge and 1 boost of a Cheshire Cat. That is inexplicable.
That is a rough turn of events for the Emerald Steel player. When, like you said, it looked like he was set up to get double Eleanor triggers and really start putting some actual pressure back on.
Yeah.
But now CJ's once again in the driver's seat.
And it's looking rough because look, we've got less than a minute left on the clock.
I just
and
looked at that too.
Both players sitting at 3.
Gonna have to develop some big questing power real quick here if we're gonna try to get a clean win.
Yeah, it's gonna be real tough. We're gonna have to see some speed here. There's gonna have to be some very, very swingy turns. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. This is gonna be rough going.
It makes me really want to see that first game because it obviously took quite a while. So I bet it was quite the back and forth slogfest.
Yeah, certainly. You know, and it's funny because like I find that my first games usually run the longest because you're just kind of like feeling each other out. You're kind of figuring
each other out 100%. Yeah, in my experience, first game's always the longest. Part of that's because as you go on, you have to play a little faster, I think. But also, like you said, everybody just trying to get comfortable. Like, what am I up against? Am I making the right decisions? There's definitely a big part to that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, a beautiful Pegasus promo card. God, I love that card. That might be one of my favorite arts in the game.
Yeah.
And the card's amazing too. But man, that art just pops for me.
It is.
I love it.
And I can't wait to see the upcoming season, the season of villainy with the Mother Knows Best promo cards. Those cards look fantastic as well. Just so good, these promo cards.
The Headless Horseman and Continentals, LCQs is so cool looking. Okay, so here's a little spice you don't see in many Amber Amethyst lists. Horned King, which lets him get any character back from his discard once that character is exerted, which is just a massive value engine in his favor if it can't get dealt with quickly.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, being able to effectively, play a character from discard while this card is exerted, huge. The Pegasus getting exerted for a quest, of course, because Evasive feels kind of safe here, is what Alex is essentially telling us. The question becomes, what else do we do? We're currently in negative time.
Right. I wonder if they're just getting to that point where they're like, I don't think we have any way to finish this game. So.
No, I will say for those of you that are watching at home, that just because the time went to 0 doesn't necessarily mean that this team was not given an extension. So there is a chance that they may have gotten a judge call at some point when we weren't able to watch this game. So there might be a time extension. We got to consider that too. We'll know when this game ends when basically Luke whispers in our ear, or we kind of see the signs of it. But we'll learn more as we go on. So just keep an eye out. Just keep in mind of that, folks. This game could literally end at any moment here, just based on time.
Had more than a few of those for a wide variety of reasons. So that's a great call out. And it looks like our Emerald Steel players really thinking about how they can get themselves out of this, or there's some back end judge call or something along those lines.
Yeah, but it could be one, both, or either. And
Right.
yeah. So
oh, it looks like they struck a good match. That's what the big
Okay.
decision making was. It looked like okay. That got missed. Sorry about that. So yeah, he's choosing to get rid of an angel. With that,
it's just so rough. I mean, getting it, especially in this first game, passing it on to the game 2 with a draw. You know, now both teams are going to be just really in a tough spot as we see Thunderbolt.
there's this Thunderbolt. Will he try to finish off the Horn King or our biggest nemesis, the cat?
that inexplicable Cheshire cat. Oh,
if he chooses the cat, that really tells you something. You know,
that's somebody I can get along with because they agree with how much I hate that card too. I totally understand that.
And that is the probably correct choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Horn
the
King,
amount of value, like we said, you're gonna get out of that king is just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is rough going if you can start firing off characters from your discard pile with that Horn King effect. It is terrible here, but we're well into the final moments of this game. They might be trying to figure out turns here, which may explain this bit of a delay on CJ's
could be turns, or it could be a judge telling them to fix the Pegasus. It's exerted a different direction.
Oh, Mark, was that getting you too? Because it was getting. I didn't want to say anything. It was bugging me.
Yeah, a little bit. I try not to be too crazy on that, but there is a very real reason why they consider it note taking, because if you turn a certain way, if you quest and do something else, when you do a different action, then you're kind of taking notes. So it is in the rules that you gotta do it the same way, as far as I know.
And CJ sending in a
spin, and then we can move the 2 damage and get the Pegasus.
So rough, dude.
Our dear friend, the Cheshire Cat, continues to be a menace.
Doing cat things, dude. We're doing cat things and send it into the Pegasus. Ugh.
Yeah. And Eleanor's not nearly as powerful or threatening when she's all alone. You know?
She's really not. She's just a renowned diplomat, just hanging out, just being all diplomatic.
Might as well be a vanilla 3/4.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty hard to get back online at this point in the game, because I have to assume CJ's probably maybe he only has 1 or 2 cards.
Yeah, and we're hearing from production that it might be turn 2 that's going on right now, and so we've gotten confirmation of that. Now
that's a big quester, and a big body. We like to see those to not let CJ just keep questing for free, but if he can boost it and do a Gaston, it's going bye-bye.
And it is.
And there it is.
It is a Gaston. Oh,
yeah. I don't think he even had to do. Doesn't that Broadway have 5? It might be a 4 strength. I forget, but he's a big boy. I know that, but maybe he did need a little punch up for the Gaston to get him.
I think he might be a 4. I think it's a 4, but
4/6 quest for 2. Yeah, that sounds right. 4 is a stat line that almost everybody's trying to get on their characters these days, if you're not aware, just because it dodges both of the removal suites in the game, Under the Sea and the Gaston, our world's greatest criminal minds. And it looks like we had a quick turn there. Kind of saw some hand gestures like, are we done here? I'm not too sure. I didn't see him quest, so okay. Looks like they're going to finish in a draw.
That's a shame. Both of those teams, Manifest and Lore Lab, are going to have to figure this out going into this game too. Not a place you want to be at, but we want to make sure that both players are going to, both teams are going to have to fight through that here. But fantastic job with both of these teams. We want to say thank you again for all of our teams that play in the ICL. And I'll even extend that thank you out to you, Mark, and as well as you, Clara, because you all are playing in teams as well. So we appreciate you for all the love that you do and all the work that you have here. So, Mark, my friend, we are getting ready to gear up for another round. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you have the ability to say all the things that you want to say before I get to hang out with the questing queen herself, with Clara. Tell us all the things you want us to know about you, and the things you
thank you
care
so
for us
much.
to know.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for casting with me today. It was an absolute pleasure. I hope I was a good partner for you.
Mark.
Thank you to everyone.
It might be just me.
Am I just you can't hear? Okay. I don't know if I can be heard or not. Are we good, production? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching the ICL and continuing to be viewers and spectators and support all the wonderful people that put a lot of hard work and time into making this production happen, giving, quality events to people to watch, all these very, very good competitive players putting on their display every week for everybody. On a personal level, you can follow me on Twitter at Never Gonna Stop, NVRGUNNASTOP. I do tweet occasionally there and provide meaningful updates on tournaments I'm in or thoughts on the meta and stuff like that. And lastly, I have a guide on Amber Emerald out that's been doing pretty well. That seems to be pretty well received by those who have purchased it. It's the aggro variant that we actually casted in game 1. So if you are interested in learning that deck a little bit more, please feel free to purchase the guide. It's $5, and I would love the support. And if you ever have any questions about anything on that deck or any deck, I try to be as open and willing to share my knowledge with anybody in the community. So come find me and we can be friends. Thank you so much. Have a great cast and a great night. Take care.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. And Clara, I just want to confirm, can you hear me? Yes. All right. I fixed out. There was a goblin jumping on my computer. I think we solved it. And we are back to the action. We have Hannibal from the Mad Hatters going up against Max from the Illumineer's Kitchen. So, Clara, welcome back from the pre-show. Thanks for joining me. So we know that Amber Emerald is no longer in play for the Mad Hatters, and Emerald Steel is no longer in play for the Illumineer's Kitchen. So that does still keep, as we know, this meta has been extremely varied, very wide. So that we can still see so many more options, and I'm really excited to see which direction both teams go. Yeah, that was the first thing that Mark said. Mark, I'm kind of glad you didn't hear. Mark was like, "Well, there goes Claire's bet." That. Oh, you did. So okay, yeah. I was like, "Oh no, so quick!" My goodness. And I just huge shout out to Hannibal and those giant 6-sided dice. I love dice are like my favorite thing. I'm a very much a fidget person. I love handling small little items, hand tokens. I love fiddling with stuff. So dice of that size to me, really cool. I love them.
Yeah. And especially if you have like a coin, I see a lot of jumbo coins in tournaments. Always a great customizable item.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's like everyone's trying to make they're all trying to make the space their own. We get custom play mats. A lot of times we see these hand tokens. The choice of dice that you have. It's like our way of making our little space ours. And I love that. Anytime that we can customize that space and it feels like we're in this moment for ourselves, I'm all for it. As both players, which speaking of, I mean, look at this. We also have the beautiful playmats here. We've got Max Goof. We have the Ursula, the Sea Witch Queen, which I love. I don't know how being a questing queen yourself, Clara. I don't know how you feel about the Sea Witch Queen. I don't know if you guys are friends or not. I don't want to make any assumptions about your alliances, but I like the playmat.
Well, I can say we have been friends for a long time, especially season 1, Ursula Deceiver. Quite a good card.
That's very understated. Good card. I would argue it was one of the best cards. And when it got reprinted, I said, "Thank goodness thank goodness it survived the first rotation." It was awesome to see. As we see Luisa here going up against Miko. Oh my goodness, this is cool. So seeing some spice over here on Max's side. This 1/3 Miko, cute picture. Love the art of this Miko as well. As both players kind of revealing Amethyst. And we see the Christopher Robin.
Oh, okay. So Max is playing the Amber Amethyst aggro deck, probably an hyper aggro shell. This deck is really terrifying if you're up against it.
It certainly is. And I mean, certainly, I think that the fact that there is both a Miko and a Pocahontas means that we are likely at some point to see the dual ink team card of Miko and Pocahontas making its appearance very, very soon. I'm loving this. I got to say, I have not had a chance to see the team in action. So to be able to see it now is going to be a lot of fun as we see Violet Parr on Hannibal's side of the board. So we're seeing Amethyst Steel for the Mad Hatters.
That might be an interesting matchup because one of the possible downfall of Amber Amethyst Hyper Aggro is a well-placed Zeus and or a well-placed Strength of a Raging Fire. Especially when the Shift Pocahontas that negates any form of challenging up until your next turn is on the field and shifted.
Yes, certainly. It's we see it looks like there's a bit of okay, so I thought there was a bit of a pause, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to ink a Dale over on Max's side of the board in order to play. I want to say that is the Amethyst Pocahontas, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little bit blurry, but I believe that's what I'm seeing here.
It seems like it. That Pocahontas is a 3/2 uninkable for 2 that allows you, when you quest with it, to gain the lore of another exerted character, either one of yours or one of your opponents.
Yes, and just so many opportunities to shift that Miko and Pocahontas right now. Max is saying, this, if I get the shift, it is coming down. This is what we're doing. There is no question about it. We see the Mike Wazowski hanging out with Pocahontas with Miko. And speaking of shift, we're over here talking about Miko and Pocahontas shifting. Hannibal going ahead and going to with the super resilient Violet Parr shift with resist. It is a 4/4, and it has the ability that whenever you play a hero, including this Violet Parr, you get to draw a card and then discard a card, which lets you see so much more of your deck and see a lot of value, like this Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Thunderbolt will really be key here. The strongest piece, the Pocahontas, we want to remove that. We want to really reduce the lore potential of Max as much as possible on Hannibal's side.
Yeah. I mean, if we know we're up against a deck that can be very, very fast. The shorter we can cut them off there and not let them be so fast, the less of a clock that Max has advantage to. Hannibal's going to be better for it. So that's exactly what we want to do with the Amethyst Steel. The strategy against aggro is I'm going to pluck away the characters. I'm going to reduce your clock. I'm going to make this game slower because as this game continues and goes longer, I am in more of an advantage. That's exactly where we want to be as we see Max is just deploying more Mikos, more Pocahontas, just inking Pocahontas to play Miko. And we're playing, I believe that is the grandmother. No, that's a Rex. That is a Rex, my friends. I believe that is a Rex.
Yes, seems like it. I recognize the green of the Dino toys.
Yes, I'm noticing by the little arms too, the little baby arms.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
love a
gosh,
good T-Rex arm.
that is a good quiz. Like from blurry to full resolution. How well do you recognize that card?
you know that we've played this game too much, Clara, because we can recognize it from colorful blobs. Okay.
Well, they are colorful and beautiful as they are.
They are. Yes. Yes, they
So
certainly
quite
are.
a lot of action on Annibal's side, playing the ISIS with an exert, and then singing with I have a blank.
For
Violet.
which, yes, Violet Parr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay. It's okay. There's so much going on, and we're seeing so many new strategies here. So don't feel bad. It is good. We are good to go. We're all learning together. All right. So it looks like there's a bit of a conversation being had right now. Both players just making sure that everything is on the up and up here. Hannibal making sure. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn over that ink, indicating that it is now Max's turn. Max currently with a Mike Wazowski, with a Miko and a Rex, and a Nani stage manager finding her way here to ensure that this band of friends stay on course and keep the music moving in the right direction.
And we have a Mike Wazowski, the equivalent, might I say, of Daisy Duck for those who remember, allowing you and the other player, when you play the card, to reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a character, you put it into your hand, and while questing as well.
Yeah, it is the heroic climber. We love that card. It is so popular. It's certainly been able to do a lot here in this format right now.
Especially to fuel the deck over and over, because as soon as Ember Amethyst Hyper Aggro runs out of gas, it's game over.
Oof. Yeah, I mean that's the name of the game, and I think that card itself is really keeping aggro in this meta. But normally, what we've seen in this game is aggro starts off really strong, and then really quickly into the format, it kind of disappears as the steal strategies start to come in, the mid-tempo strategies. Cards like this Mike Wazowski, cards like Nani, cards like Miriam have allowed the fuel for the aggro decks to kind of survive and keep making it there. We see the singing of the Thunderbolt, and we also see the card that kind of replaced Doc here, and you broke my smolder.
Yes, that card is quite easy to put it in any steel deck that is always on the verge of having no cards in hand. So the Smolder, the Demona, all great additions in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Hannibal just is currently able to keep Max at bay, not allowing Max to collect too much advantage here. Max is trying, though. Max is putting on characters. Hannibal is finding songs, and we've been able to play the Grandmother Willow, which allows us to play this Mike Wazowski at a discount. We see Christopher Robin, and we see Violet Parr over on Hannibal's side. So both players finding cards from that Mike Wazowski trigger.
So the points right now are 4-2 for Max. So it is quite it is quite the struggle for any players to get in the lead right now. They each do their things really well. So who do you think will get the edge this game?
That's a good question. We just saw Angel come down. Angel is a very strong equalizer. And you know what else is a good equalizer, Clara?
Yeah,
singing songs. Strength of a Raging Fire is a fantastic equalizer here. So we're going to deal with the Mike Wazowski. The question is, are we going to get rid of the last card in our hand for that Experiment 626 in order to deal with another character? We could cleanly, and we're going to cleanly deal potentially with either the Rex or the Grandmother Willow. Opting to say, you know what, the Rex needs to be dealt with now, and so so Hannibal sending the Rex away, which is going to give Max a point of lore as per the effect of Rex. And then Hannibal says, you know what? I don't like that you're the only one getting lore this turn. I want to get lore too. I'm going to quest.
Yeah, it's time to quest because on the other side of the board, the maximum strength we have right now is 4 among all characters. So there's not a lot of clashback that could be done on Violet Par, which is resist +1. It's a key characteristic in the meta right now.
It certainly is. And let me tell you what, if Max wanted to trade in his characters to an Isis or to the Violet, I think Hannibal was okay with that trade all the time. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to quest. And we want to start to get more lore here as we see Max is just, like saying, hey, you know what? I'm the aggro deck. I need to get faster. I need to get more points.
Yeah, but the thing here is the clashback will be really hard. Negating the Grandmother Willow and the Mike Wazowski on the other side will render the opposite side of the board really vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, we're just punishing and punishing this Isis coming in now, being able to deal with a character. The more value that. Oh no, not the Cheshire Cat, not the Cheshire Cat. Oh my gosh, Clara knows. Tell the cat to stop.
There's no stopping the cat, seriously. It just has tools, like you can reuse the character every turn one time and clear the board as much as you like. As soon as you have damage on your characters, you ship it off the other side. Not my problem anymore.
I love that. It's not our problem. It's your problem. That's exactly what it feels like. And Hannibal is just telling Max, you know what your problem is me. I'm your problem. Look at all these characters. But Max is saying, you know what your problem is Dale.
Yeah, Dale's Dale's a
Dale's
big problem.
Oh my goodness, Hannibal. So Max is saying, I'm going to keep questing. You have 5 characters. I just put down the Dale, and I'm going to try to get to that magic number. Now my characters hit harder. My characters, if you challenge them, the Dale will make them stronger. And it's interesting to see Max making this decision because he could be very punished for it. And this might be the last bit of lore that Max is able to get, depending on what hand. Oh, yes. Okay. That's a problem. That's a big problem, Clara.
Yes. Especially since Dale is in there, because all the damage is not strength based, is willpower based. And Luisa really likes that.
Oof. That is a full board wipe by challenging into the 2 characters that were exerted. Luisa and the Isis were able to have 3 damage on them. Luisa has this really cool thing about her ability where she can do the ability, and because of the timing, the rules on timing, even though she has 4 willpower, having that 1 willpower sitting on her does not banish her yet, because she gets to complete her effect. She moves the 4 damage over to Dale, because the game does not check for her surviving the amount of damage on her until after the effect has been completed. So what we have here was a full board wipe and what I believe to be a Raja on Max's side of the board that he played on his turn, and that's it, just a Raja. And Hannibal putting down a Hades, making a deal in order to deal with it. This is rough, Clara. This is not the kind of game that Max wants to see right now.
Like, I mean, this is a tough bargain, seriously. Like, do I have, like, being wiped out entirely and see my opponent win, or do I have, like, something standing?
It's tough. It's certainly a gamble here, and Hannibal, I think, is seeing that that's it. Like, now that I have control of the clock, I have control of the tempo. You need to deal with me. You are not going to be fast enough to get to 20. I don't have to worry about the aggro parts of your deck. Hannibal has decided that he is now that he is the aggro deck, and that Max is going to have to answer to him.
Yeah, I think the game is done, and there we have it, the concede from Max.
Yes.
We still have 45 minutes in the round, plenty of time for key decision making on both sides. Let's see what Max will do on the play on the next game.
Yeah, I mean, and we know that this deck can be very, very fast. Max being on the play is exactly where Max wants to be with this deck. Should be. I'm going to use the term should here. Should be pretty easy. Should be a good matchup for Max. Of course, the beauty of this card game and the beauty of all card games is that you have to draw from a stack of 60 cards, and sometimes those 60 cards, even after an alter, does not do you any favors, and that can happen sometimes. But given that Disney Lorcana has probably one of the most friendly and gracious alter systems of any card game, I hope that we can find a plan and be able to move forward with that plan.
Oh yeah, I've seen other card games, and I agree with that. It's the one of the most friendly altars or mulligan or whatever you want at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can always find what you need here in Disney Lorcana at the beginning of the game.
Oh my gosh, I like that catchphrase.
You know what? So does Diablo. Diablo really loved that catchphrase too, and so did Sapphire players last format. They loved that, especially with Sail the Azurite Sea. They certainly felt that way a lot. You always find what you need.
Exactly, and for those who remember, triple daisies in the first 2 turns. Yes.
Oh yeah, now it's triple maxes. Now it's multiple maxes, multiple Eleanor. Oh my goodness! The more things change, Claire, the more things stay the same. This is crazy.
Yeah, and the more we love the game.
It's so true. I love it. It's like the more I complain about things like this happening to me, the happier I am. I don't understand it. I guess human beings are really complicated creatures. You know, that's what it boils down to. As Hannibal sends away what I believe to be 2 cards, Max, I could not tell. There's a few cards on the table, so like a pretty moderate alter, not too crazy. Both players liking some of the cards they had, not liking some. So I'd say a pretty average alter from both players.
Yeah, so that means they probably have their curve figured out, or pretty much, and they just want to remove like uninkables that will not be used. So let's see what will be their strategy on game 2.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Max is going to want to go fast, as we kind of started to see. We see what I believe to be is, I believe that's an Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
Yeah, finding her way down. This is going to be a fantastic way to start getting a discount on these characters, especially Pocahontas, as we see Louisa on Hannibal's side of the board.
Okay, so another line I could see here that would be interesting is playing a Rex turn 2. Oh,
yeah, Willow's not bad. I'll take a Willow on 2 as much as I would take a Max here. And we're playing, I believe that's our Miko.
Seems like it. That is one of the options. Violet Para for Annabelle, really setting up that turn 3 shift and being able to sing a song at the same time. And it seems like a repeat from game 1. Let's hope for a different result to have a game 3, or we always like game 3 in ICL.
100%. I want to spend as much time as I can talking about Disney Lorcana, and so does Pocahontas. We see a shift on the Miko with that new Miko and Pocahontas team. You love to see it. Going to go in for a quest, and we quested with the Aurora as well to make that a discount. So and we're redeploying the Aurora.
So that is one of the strength of this deck with the Pocahontas shift. It is a 2/3 evasive questing for 2 that allows you to help prevent challenging in the classical way. For sure, we cannot prevent any challenge, any ready characters, but we're putting any number of assurance on our side.
It is, yeah. And I mean, just for those of you that so it's a shift 2 evasive. It is a princess, as I mentioned, so Aurora does count for it. Whenever, and the name of the ability is called Welcome Return. Whenever this character quests, you may return chosen character of yours with cost 1 to your hand. If you do, you may play a character with cost 1 for free. For those of you that are just jumping in and watching this game here, what a strong effect. And Max, 4 characters wide, lots of questing power here. As I'm hanging out with the questing queen herself, as we see the Pocahontas as well, the Amethyst Pocahontas and a Mike Wazowski. So not only are we getting a lot of questing power, we're also seeing cards. We're seeing cards getting added to the hand. But if you look over at Hannibal's side of the board, you've got Louisa, which can shift into something very scary. You've got Violet Parr. Guess what? It shifts into something very scary. And as if it wasn't scary enough, we have a Gargoyle that is 4/4 in Lexington. So lots of avenues here to deal with the board. And that Lexington with the alert is going to be a big, big problem for that Miko and Pocahontas.
Yeah, especially the closest threat right now is really that Lexington for that interaction with Pocahontas and Miko. It is a good play from Annabelle to put that in place. So right now, Max is saying, "Hey, I know that's out there. I'm not scared about that. I'm just going to do my thing and put a lot of characters into play."
Yes. And knowing that the Lexington is there, Max is saying, well, I'm going to quest with it anyway because this big, beautiful dinosaur, I guess it's little, he's a toy. So this little,
Yeah.
beautiful dinosaur is going to go ahead and protect the Miko and the Pocahontas.
Yeah, it is kind of a protection, but at the same time, Luisa could really easily take care of Rex, or the shift Luisa will be even more devastating, and then Lexington coming in. Um, so if Hannibal has it, well, what else can I say?
It's tough. It's really tough. And thinking from Max's side, you're seeing that you're going up against Amethyst Steel, and you
Mhm.
know that we are approaching the turns where Amethyst can start to exert your characters. You're worried about things like Tigger bouncing characters back to hand, or Isis. We know that Isis is here, so maybe Isis exerts characters. So Max is kind of put with the back against the wall because
Oh,
oh my. Speaking of which, the climber Luisa coming in to deal with the Rex. That's going to put 3 damage on it. And Max is going to go ahead and gain that 1 additional lore. But Hannibal just coming in and dealing with the board with these characters. This is not what Max wants to see. This is real tough.
that was what I predicted to be the
Yep.
biggest blowout in terms of sequencing. 3 characters dealt with in a single turn.
Yeah, and the math like Max gave the math perfectly to Hannibal to be able to not only deal with those 2 characters, but give Hannibal the exact number of damage counters to deal with the Mike Wazowski. So now even the Mike Wazowski that that was kind of just hanging out, that has been dealt with too, and Max is left with a Grandmother Willow and an Amethyst Pocahontas just hanging out, looking at what is becoming a terrifying board state on Hannibal's side of the board.
Exactly. The options are really not great because Amber Amethyst is not known for any counter measures in terms of challenging back, regaining the control of the board. Once it's lost, it is really hard to gain it back. We have Dash Par. Uh, it is um, a rush that can be used directly to gain lore. I don't believe it is evasive, so
No, it's not.
it is a 3/2. Really, really bad stats for that current moment.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very unfortunate stats here. And Max is deciding that speed is the way that they are going to win this game. Hannibal, of course, as we've been talking about, just so many scary things happening. And the math on Max's side of these exerted characters, again, you just mentioned it, Clara. We're talking about that dash bar that has 3 strength. That is a beautiful number for Luisa. Luisa
Mhm.
gets to challenge into that, gets to sit with 3 damage on her, and then she gets to pull the 1 damage away from the Lexington to then deal with another character. So just Hannibal with these making the challenging so advantageous for himself, forcing Max into very awkward questing scenarios.
So almost we could have been in a situation where Luisa's ability could have been activated fully 2 times this turn. I don't believe we can do the cycle 2 times to have 3 or more damage on her to flip it back on another character. That said, I believe this turn will be devastating for Max.
Yeah. I anticipate just essentially, yeah, exactly. You said it best. I'm not. There's no reason to even repeat that. It's going to be bad. It is going to be a massacre. This is going to look terrible. Strength of a raging fire to clean that up. We see Hannibal now deciding what to do with that violet par. It is challenged into the Pocahontas. Then we're going to go ahead and send the Louisa into the dash par. Exactly what we talked about. And yep, this is what we call, my friends, a board wipe.
Yeah. So that must feel really bad for Max. Like I've been there personally, so the feeling is quite strong, but quite a beautiful sequence by Hannibal.
Yeah. And just Max, of course, though, not giving up. Max is saying, no, this game is not over. I still have a shot. We're going to play Pocahontas. We're going to create more characters on the board. I have to be able to combat it. Max is, to be fair, oof, big oof
Oh.
with the ISIS. Big oof. Oh, yeah.
I was ready for like the glimpse of hope to come through there, but Hannibal decides to no. Let's smother that all completely. Like I am winning this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hannibal's like holding on to the craziest cards right now. Max saying, "Okay, let's see if you can repeat this turn." And
Ugh.
Hannibal can. Hannibal literally repeats the turn. We play another ISIS. We're dealing. Oh, this is terrible. This is devastating for Max. Oh no, not another 2-0. Is this possible? I mean, again, we keep saying that Max is still closer in the lore count, but the board state does not tell the same story as the lore count right now. And Hannibal is gaining control of this board so quickly.
Yeah, so there is a challenge and then the transfer of damage. So Pocahontas with 5 willpower has been dealt with and banished.
My goodness, yeah, Max cannot be happy about this, and just I'm seeing some love in the chat from the team. This is not a good matchup for Max. This is exactly the opposite matchup, as Max is going to go ahead and play Nani.
Nani is the glimpse of hope. Okay, so
what do we find a Rex? We find a Rex.
So anybody cheering for the Illumineer's kitchen, it's time to hear to have you in the chat support your player out there.
Yes.
Really on the verge of winning. 13 is close, but there's still work to do.
Oh my goodness, this is getting rough. They're trying so hard, and Clara, the kitchen is appreciating you. They're offering you honorary chef status, head chef status in the kitchen, as Max again is having the characters dealt with. This is not good. Max is fighting so hard, trying to keep control of this game, and Hannibal, the control of this game, the oven mitt is slowly being removed off of Max. The chef's hat revealing the mice underneath the hat, as we see a Miko and Pocahontas hitting the table. Can this do anything?
Well, it. Oh, another ISIS?
This is crazy. What is happening? This can't be real. This can't be real. Max is being forced to just sit here and watch Hannibal play Lorcana. This is terrible.
Yeah. But Hannibal is having the day of its life. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Everything's coming up Hannibal right now. Hannibal is just drawing every card that they need. Hannibal is seeing every answer, every character exertion that he needs to see. As we see, that's a tough one. We're gonna have to wait for the fidelity.
Raja.
Raja, it's Raja. Okay, it's Raja. Thank you for that. Yes, so I mean that's a 3/4 character, but boy oh boy, 7 ink or 7 lore. I'm sorry, on Hannibal's side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a Hades, a deal to be made. And you have to imagine that Max just has no choice but to just let Hannibal draw here. Yeah, I mean, there's literally, that's not even a choice. It can't be. You have to keep this character on this board to even have a shot. Strength of a Raging Fire, Clara, for 7 points of damage on the Raja.
Wow, it is a beautiful overkill. Like,
beautiful.
shall we say an beautiful over
It's a work of
vanish.
art. I
Yes.
love that you're seeing this as an opportunity to cherish the art of it all. This is, oh my gosh, as Hannibal approaching 12 lore and getting this game under the lock here.
Yeah, we are not quite winning on the following turn, but we are putting quite a clock. Um, this is it another Raja?
I
believe
believe
so.
it is I believe it's the Mike Wazowski. I believe it's Mike Wazowski, not the one that lets you get a card. It is no, hold on. This is a test. This is a
This
test.
is a
This is
Raja.
Is it Raja again? It is another Raja. Okay, so so the blurriness has faded. It is a Raja. Okay, it is Raja. But Clara, look at, we've got 8 characters on the board. We've got a book. We've got a Woodchuck's guidebook and a smolder because we didn't have enough answers. We just didn't have enough answers. We needed to draw 2 more cards. We just didn't have enough answers.
I mean, if you're winning, you really gotta secure that win, like as much as possible. Like
Oh
n-
man.
no leaving any possibility out there for any hope. Just 7 lore in one turn with quite a big board of
No.
8 characters,
Yeah.
as you said.
Yeah, and Max exerting cards to play. I believe that is the Peacekeeper. That is Peacekeeper
Mhm.
Pocahontas, a fantastic card, but does not help us here, as Hannibal will now go into the final turn here and exert all the characters for the win. The Mad Hatters have secured not only this game, Clara, but they've secured last game. So they are 2-0 in this series, and that is going
Mhm.
to lock it up for the Mad Hatters. Congratulations to them and their victory tonight. Wow, that was rough. That was really rough.
Well, yeah, it was rough on the Illumineer's kitchen side, that's for sure. But let's not forget that the Mad Hatters, to bring that result, they really played well
They
to
did.
counter everything.
Yes. Yeah, that was a huge shout out to the Mad Hatters, 100%. Man, that was quite the matchup. 2-0, both sides now for the Mad Hatters, locking this whole sequence, this whole series up. Fantastic job again to the Hatters. Valiant effort on the part of the Illumineer's Kitchen. I want to give a huge shout out to the Illumineer's Kitchen. Again, it is their first night out here. It is their first season of the ICL. A heck of a showing. Good effort, good attempt. I mean, unfortunately, what you have here is the Mad Hatters are fantastic players, and to be even more honest and blunt, they made the right meta call. They knew exactly they had the exact answer in game 1. They had the right answers in game 2, and they played it well. In order to be good at card games, and Clara, you know this because you play
Mhm.
at a very high level. You have to be both good and you have to be lucky. You have to be both. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
be if one isn't working right, it isn't going to work for you. So the Mad Hatter's really showing that to be the case here. And boy, oh boy, you gotta give a huge shout out to them. We're going to be getting the Mad Hatters coming in shortly with an interview. And again, we went to a 2-0, so we're going to likely see another game at some point in the middle of it. But we're going to give the Mad Hatters their chance to have that interview. But Clara, before we do that
Mhm.
interview, tell me about your thoughts about this game, about the sequence.
Well, I gotta say that was a fairly tough matchup for the Amber Amethyst deck. In general, if you're coming up against any steel deck, especially Amethyst Steel, it has all the resources to have more cards, more removal. The best line of play I would have seen was in game 1, with the line of Miko and Pocahontas being able to
Yeah.
establish that shift Peacekeeper. That would have been a really good leg up into the lore points.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly was, and I like seeing that we're running the Amethyst strategy. I think what's really interesting too is that we didn't really see the droids. We didn't see Syndrome. I think that there's a few different variants of this Amethyst Steel strategy that's coming up. This felt a little bit more like the mid range style, like the mid tempo deck. Although you didn't really see too many of the Maleficents or Diablos, so this felt and looked a lot like kind of like the former version of it, like prior to rotation, like just a lot of great cards. It's just good cards. Cards that deal with the board, cards that exert characters. It's hard to beat good cards, and that's what we had. It was a lot of great cards, and not a lot of fluff in that build. So it was good to see.
Yeah. Especially it's one like we've seen in chapter 9 and 10 with the Amethyst Steel deck. It was the best stat in the curve at all time.
Yeah.
And
1-on-1, 2-on-2.
Demona was there since chapter 10, right?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
She will be a terror up until the future rotation.
Yes, we're gonna be crying about Demona for still a little bit longer. We're not done crying about Demona, Clara. We got some time still. We've got some time still, and I'm sure that when that time comes, when we get to see Demona rotate out, I'm sure there will be a lot of people who are excited about that day. There's gonna be a lot of cheering, parades in the street, and in honor of that wonderful gargoyle who's done so much work, so much service for Amethyst players everywhere.
So much work and terror. I mean,
oh, the Scourge of the Wyvern Clan for sure. That is not a joke. That is one that name, very fitting name. A Scourge for sure is a fact. But yeah, so we're just hanging tight as we are going to learn more about these players. Just hang tight with us. I believe that we might even be. I don't know. I don't think we're in an ad. I think we're good right now. Yeah, and I think we're fine there. But yeah, we're just hanging tight. Yeah, so we're still waiting on the interview. We're going to be there in just a moment. But folks in the chat, for those of you that are hanging out with us, and a huge shout out to those of you that are hanging out with us on YouTube. Just want to shout you all out there that are watching this on YouTube. Thank you for keeping that and holding that community down. Shout out to those of you that are watching on Twitch as well. If you're watching the ICL, no matter how you're watching it, where you're watching it, I just want to say thank you all very much. There is no ICL without the audience to watch it, without the folks to want to see it. There's so much to learn from the ICL. There's so much meta evolution that happens on the ICL, and every one of you hanging tight with us allows that to happen. So please, if you're hanging out with us, whether it's on YouTube, if you've not followed the ICL, do it. If you're here on Twitch and you've not followed Luke, V Vonderland, as we like to call him, follow him. If you're on YouTube, come on over to Twitch, click the button. If you're on Twitch, let's head on over to YouTube, click the button over there. Let's cross-pollinate. Let's get all the love going, and let's cross-pollinate. And let's click all the buttons, folks, and make sure that you get notified every time we go live. I hear some errant noises. I don't know if that's a sign that we're about to get a interview on the way here. Is that what we're getting? Hey. Yeah, we're still we don't have visuals on you just yet. Yeah, just a few more seconds. All right, but friends, again, thank you all for hanging out. And so, yes, we are in a holding pattern here. But man, okay, wait. Hey, welcome in. How is it going? Well, yeah. How could you not, with a 2-0 like that? How could you not be doing well? Talk to me about how that match went for you.
Yeah. First of all, got a little lucky with the matchup. I mean, he's playing an aggro deck. I'm playing a mid-range aggro buster. So there was just a little bit of luck there on the matchup draw. But I'd love to actually see the Miko and Pocahontas. It was a fun deck. It's something that I actually wasn't expecting to see today. I was actually, when I seen my partner Matt go first and I seen the green steel first, I said, oh yeah, the aggro deck is coming next, so it kind of fell in line. I think Matt talked a little earlier about how we kind of decided to do the lineup today. So it's working out in our favor so far, which I'm stoked about. So
that is really great. And what was there any parts of the game you were worried about, like you had to think about strategies to not let a win fall on the other side of the table?
Overall, I would say not really. And I think it's just because of the nature that Purple Steel is right now. It's a very grindy deck, and it's always going to, I'm tit for tat every single hand, right? Every time they're doing something, I obviously the game plan on their end was let's go as fast as I can so he can't catch up. But I know that my deck has exert options. I have ways to remove things off the board. So I knew very early in that second game, I kind of thought playing that Lexington. Should I maybe hard cast his strength and just remove something now? But I think keeping the body and staying patient was the most important thing to do.
Yeah, like we said in the game earlier, that Lexington did some work. It was a wall up against that deck. So, what do you see coming forward in the meta right now with your experience of tonight or personal experience?
So first and foremost, I think the meta is in a great spot right now, for my opinion, because there's so many options that are actually viable, right? So a little bit about myself. I actually joined Lorcana at the very tail end of the Fabled, thanks to a Goofy movie and the Goof Troop characters that came out. So seeing the meta then, it was just very triangular, right? It was purple steel, like 65% purple, and then we had some aggro coming out with the dogs, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like you just pick one of the three, and that's what you play. But now we have so many things to prepare for that everything's not linear. So, and to answer your question, in preparation with my deck and like Lexington, I have to respect evasives, especially against the all red purple. And I'll be honest, again, back to the matchup thing. If I played that green steel, I have some answers for evasives, but if that evasive gets too wide, it's really hard for me to continuously answer that board. So it's actually something I'll think about in the future as evasives keep ramping. But I just love the way the meta is, and I love coming out here and seeing the matches in previous round and being able to play and just not even know what to expect every single game. It's really fun.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that perspective, and I mean, just fantastic gameplay. I mean, you mentioned that you got lucky, but I mean, and I was just telling this to Clara too. Like, yes, this is a card game, so luck does matter. Luck, you build a deck and you kind of plan for a meta, but you still have to play that deck to a certain quality, to a certain standard. So don't discredit yourself. I mean, just the choices that you made during deck building, some of the play decisions that you made, knowing when to be patient, I thought was really important in that matchup, because very easily that game could turn sideways if Max is able to gain card advantage and to just kind of keep putting characters down on the board, as we see Amber Emerald do so well. So knowing when you can or can't do that is an important piece of that puzzle. So don't sell yourself short. I mean, did you get a little bit lucky? Was it the matchup you wanted? Yeah, sure. But it's a card game. It's variance. You still can brick. So you got to remember that too. And so just huge shout out to you, and huge shout out to the Mad Hatters for really coming out here and showing it up 2-0, locking this sequence down, locking down this game. It is yours. Whatever happens in game 3 is a gravy at this point. And your opponents, the Illumineer's Kitchen, is going to have to win, because it's something that's really cool about the ICL that people don't know, or that they might know if they're in it or they follow it. Every win matters. This isn't like a tournament where you can ID. There's no IDing here. This isn't a tournament, like this isn't a box case tournament. Okay, every game counts. You got to win every single game, because at the end the points matter. And so fight for that third game, just as if it's going to get you into the top cut, because it very well could. So with that said, I want to give you a chance to just to do some quick shout outs to your team or to whoever you want.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to shout out my beautiful wife and my 2 kids. Love them to death. She's giving me the opportunity. She's with the kids right now, so I can participate in this and be here with y'all and nerd it out a little bit. And obviously, I want to give a shout out to my team and my good buddy Seth. We worked really hard on just building our deck list and making sure everything was the way we wanted it to. And I'm just excited to be here and excited for the rest of the tournament.
And we are too, my friend. And with that, huge shout out to the Mad Hatters. Thank you so much. Thanks for the show. And say bye-bye to our friends with a little hand wave here. Thank you. There you go. Oh, as we are going to go ahead and we are going to jump into an entirely different game, Clara. We are going to see Rebel from Additional Inc., a team that is based here in Florida, where I'm from. And Gator, Gator don't mess around. World class cards. We know Gator very well. Gator's been with us. Is this the second season Gator's been on World Class Cards now? I believe maybe even third. But World Class Cards, of course, well known here, well known around these parts. And Gator is playing. Oh my gosh, is this a mirror match?
Yeah, it's a mirror. I was about to say that.
Oh, tell us about the mirror match. Tell us about this mirror match.
Oh my gosh. So the mirror match is kind of tricky because there's not a lot of evasives. At best in Sapphire Steel, you might have alert characters. So anytime you exert a character, expect like a clawback from the other side, trying to take advantage. And I believe that Rebel right now does have the advantage, especially seeing that Nick Wilde and that Judy Hopps on the other side. I believe it is the 4-cost one that allows that searches in the first 3 cards of the deck whenever she quests a detective. So keeping the fuel on. On the other side, it's mainly Dark Wings, as we can see, right?
Yeah, so the Judy Hopps, for those of you that are curious about that one, it's called Lead Detective, and what that one does is it gives detective characters alert and resist 2. So I think that one of the strongest things and one of the reasons why people opt to play what they're calling detectives, which a cute name for the deck, is it's an engine building deck. It really plays cards that makes the other cards stronger. So like we mentioned, the Judy Hopps resist an alert. The Nick Wilde, every time characters challenge, they banish a character, they draw a card. So lots of value, and that's happening on both sides. So both players are looking to create the highest value board, as both players have a Launchpad and Darkwing Duck team on their side of the board. A massive character, 5/7 team character. It's got Ward, and every time it challenges and banishes a character, it's going to gain 2 lore. So there's just so much value here.
Yeah, exerting a character on either side could mean easy lore gain on the other side. So, especially with Rebel being at 11 lore, that is really dangerous for Gator to make any move at all, but moves need to be done.
Yes, and Rebel identifying that, saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to win this game if I go fast. I think it's important, especially for newer players. A lot of new players that start playing this game, in my perspective, one of the mistakes they tend to make is that they play to not lose. They play not to lose. When in reality, sometimes you got to play to win. You got to play to win. And what Rebel's doing here is playing to win, saying, you know what? If you're going to challenge into my board and you're going to deal with stuff, fine. But I'm at 15. So Gator is going to try to deal with this board, as we see using the Darkwing Duck Launchpad team, going ahead and then seeing the opportunity here to to deal with the board more, so challenging, getting Rebel down to just 1 character left on the board. The question becomes, Clara, can Rebel recover after Gator has put down so many characters now and is sitting at 5 characters on the board?
So it's really tough because Gator is getting that advantage back from the cleaning almost the whole board. And right now, it is a dangerous state, the board state, because Darkwing and Launchpad can challenge into one of the other 2 counterparts on the other side, but the clawback will be simply that the other side will banish Darkwing and Launchpad and gain 2 lore as well. So we could expect on the following turn, Rebel at 17, Gator at 2 more, plus the rest. So
yeah, and we're using the Launchpad effect now. Really cool ability. You can exert Launchpad to draw and discard a card. If you have Darkwing Duck, though, you just get to keep the card. No need to discard the card. Really cool effect here. We're seeing that card show up in Emerald Steel as well. It's kind of morphing the Touch the Sky Paradise Falls deck. And Nick Wilde, along with a Let It Go to deal with the Angel, Gator saying, I don't want you to have free damage casting on me, so we're going to get rid of that. We're going to let you. The other problem, though, is you can't play Let It Go because I believe that Darkwing Duck and Launchpad has Ward. So that makes that also very difficult to deal with.
Exactly. So the challenge must be made to prevent a game win on the other side. And drawing a card with Nick Wild, that was a clutch top deck.
Yes.
As we are playing a one-cost Darkwing Duck after. Not sure if it is the pressure we need, but it is the pressure we get.
It's not the pressure it may not be the pressure we need, but you're right. You're so right. I love that is such a good way to put that. It is so true. Sometimes you got to put down what you got, and we see Gator is showing one of the Darkwing Ducks to Rebel in a very menacing manner. Gator, I don't know, shaking the Darkwing Duck at Rebel really frighteningly. We might learn more in the future about that, but deciding, yes, speaking of menacing, the terror that flaps in the night, sending itself into the character here and dealing with the team. Gator now has all these characters, and Rebel, trying to win this game, needs just 3 more points to win the game. Gator trying to amass a tempo, trying to amass control. Speaking of the terror that flaps in the night, it is named after the Darkwing Duck. It is the card. It deals 3 damage to Nick Wild.
The follow-up of the Darkwing Duck, 3 cost and inkable that deals that last point of damage.
So good. That's so good. Gator jumps all the way up to 16 lore. If
it was not for that, like Rebel had it the following turn. Probably.
Yeah, that was so awesome. The launch pad immediately following that. Wow, yes, that might have been the thing that sealed the deal. The Terror that Flaps in the Night alongside of that. Now, can Rebel deal with these characters? Can Rebel stop Gator from getting to 20? I don't know if we can. We're going to challenge into something, but that's not enough. That is not enough. Oh, yeah. Oh, I believe. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the game. That is the end of the game, folks. And I believe Gator is going to go ahead and lock that one up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man, that was something. So we got to see a mirror match. We got to see a Duck Detectives mirror match. All right. Oh my goodness, friends. We are joined. How's it going? It's fitting zero the hero. So before I introduce you, before we talk, I want to give Clara a chance to say the things that you want to say, Clara. So first of all, thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And it's been fun. I'm glad to have finally gotten to cast with you, and I hope we get to do more of this in the future.
Same. I always appreciate doing casting, especially with the wonderful cast as you are, Gabe. I had so much fun tonight, and I can't wait to see the rest of the matches tonight.
It's going to be a doozy. It is going to be a doozy. And with that said, Clara, you know the rules. We wave before, so you can disappear off the screen. Okay, Luke, push the buttons, Luke. Push the
buttons. Oh, you're stuck here. Sorry. Sorry, you're stuck here with it.
I'm trying to make magic happen. Anyways, the magic button, the wand didn't work. But Zero, please, for those of us who don't know who you are, please let us know who you are and let us know who it is that will be hanging out with us.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I believe this is kind of like my little casting debut here, at least for the ICL. But I have been playing. I played in the last season with the Lords of Lore, and I'm currently playing with the Lords of Lore as well. But yeah, I'm a Chicago-based content creator for Lorcana. I have my own YouTube channel, though it has been a little bit barren as of late. It's been a little tough to get some videos out, but I think those are coming back. So don't worry too much. But yeah, if you haven't checked me out, Zero to Hero TCG on YouTube. But yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I'm super excited to join you guys here, and hopefully a lot more in the future. That'll be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, and we're glad to have you. But let me tell you this. It's been crazy. I don't. There's a lot of people in the chat right now that are strongly hoping that they're going to see some of their favorites because generally speaking, when we have a 2-0 situation like this going into the ICL, going into round or I guess match 3, I guess we'll call it, because a round match game, like those are 3 different things. Sometimes we opt at the ICL to just go to another game where that win might matter. So we're going to leave that up to the production crew to decide what game we're going to see. So if in the chat, for those of you that have feelings about stuff, let your feelings be known. Let your opinion be felt in the chat. I do not have the power to push the buttons, and the decision has been made. So I'll just tell you that. I'll go ahead and lay that out for you. But go. You know what? Good vibes matters in the chat, and it looks like we might be getting not the match that has Malf in it. Unfortunately, I do believe we are going to see. We might be seeing Manifest again against the Lore Lab. So we got to see them in round 1 a little bit as we kind of cut to them. So we're going to get to see that game shortly. So again, as Clara's kind of like hanging out with us still, which again, just huge thank you to you, and Zero, thanks for hanging out. And what I want to say to you, Zero, you mentioned that you have content that you are working on, that you kind of had a bit of a barren situation. I've been creating content has been something that's been really strange for me too. Like I'm mostly on X is where you can find me. I hang out here with Luke on the ICL. Everybody keeps telling me I gotta do content too, and I keep finding reasons not to. So yeah, don't feel bad. It's okay. You're doing more than I am as it is, and you'll do more. I promise.
Yeah, of course. And of course, like, it's not like it's like a gate kept thing or anything. Whenever you want to, just jump in, do some, jump out, like it's fun. It's fun all around.
Awesome. It is. It really is.
Okay, that is my time to say goodbye. It has been a lovely time. I'm leaving you with 2 wonderful casters, Zero to Hero and Gabe. And you can find me out there. My handle is Questing Queen TCG in YouTube, Twitch. Like Zero to Hero, my stuff has been like pretty much barren, but I'm still out there, still jumping in any opportunities I can get to be there with the community. So have a wonderful night and enjoy the games.
We will, Clara, and thank you again. Can't wait to hang out with you later on. As we see both players hanging out here can we talk about the fact that they've got matching sleeves? Did they work on that? And oh my goodness, how am I supposed? This is crazy, folks. Okay, so a little bit of lore here. We've got the Lore Lab. We've got Volatile here. On the right side, we have a person who has played on the ICL before, not on Team Manifest, but in seasons 1 and 2 on a team that I am on, the Illuminati. That's Freddie Rivera, folks. He is a nationally qualified player. He made top 16 in Richmond, losing to the person who would eventually go and win the whole thing itself, Fungus. So Freddie, very, very strong player here. Volatile, no slouch themselves. Both players now getting ready. So we're going to see what both of these players have. And Manifest player Freddie inking a David Zero.
Yeah,
to play Finnick. Ugh.
I was just gonna say, like, if we were still watching the Mad Hatters versus the Kitchen game, I thought Amber and Emerald would be coming because they've been hiding that till the end. But I was like, maybe we dodge it now that we're moving over to another game. But no, here it is. We are going to be watching kind of like a repeat, I would say, because we did see in round 1 these colors as well: Amber Emerald against the Emerald Steel deck. We're gonna have to see. And like you said, these are some decorated players. We've seen their names around. And would you say you're a little biased based off what you just said?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I have to be honest. Freddie is a local to me. We're really good. I'm going to be honest with you. We're really good friends. I'm a part of his testing circle. I'd like to say that I'm the reason why he made top 16. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have made top 16. I'd argue that point, and I'm sure he would argue the opposite. However,
he's not here though, so
he can't hear me. But yeah, I cannot deny it. I have to say I am a little bit biased here, and for that reason, I'm rooting for Volatile to take the whole thing because Freddie left the Illuminati to join Manifest.
True. But yeah, we do see Freddy's kind of, I would say it's not the slowest of starts, but not really finding some of the faster components of his deck. He does find a Grandmother Willow, which means he does get to play a second character here on turn 2. But this might be a little entry point for Volatile here to kind of like take control of the game.
Yeah. I mean, listen, double Phoenix to start your game off like a turn 1 Finnick, a turn 2 Willow Finnick. I mean, granted, you're getting the 3 characters down, and you can still deploy an Eleanor next turn, but this is not. These are not the 1-drops you're looking for. These are generally you generally want more the 1-drops that have more of an impact here. So, you have to. This has to indicate kind of a softer hand on Freddy's side.
Yeah, especially if you're facing off against a steel deck. I mean, we did see in round 1 that the Amber Emerald deck did manage to edge them out because, Emerald Steel kind of, while it is a steel deck, it is leaning more towards like not really the control-y kind of style, like a little bit more aggro, not quite aggro, but it doesn't really have the control elements that a regular steel deck has. But yeah, like we said, this might be a way in for them. But like you did say as well, the Eleanor does come down because we did manage to play on tempo. The Eleanor is able to come out, and with that, we get to snipe the Pegasus, which is a really good target to hit here.
So good. It is so
Okay,
good. Yeah,
good.
I mean, having a one willpower character is rough going up against Amber Emerald specifically because of these Eleanor triggers, these Eleanor pings. And yeah, I mean, Freddy identifying that that's just an easy one to go to. So dealing with that character, keeping Volatile off. We know that the Emerald Steel strategy also uses Eleanors. The difference is that in the strategy, the way they keep that Eleanor cycle going is they're questing with evasive characters that are harder to deal with. So these are characters that will generally survive longer. We're not seeing a whole lot of these evasive characters, but we are seeing a ward character in the Huntsman.
Yeah, this ward is particularly nice, usually into like other decks that can kind of control you down. The steel matchups, maybe even like Sapphire with the Let It Goes into Hades. You get to protect yourself from that. And it's really neat in this deck, especially because it kind of guarantees you as Singer to sing that Touch the Sky so that you can like move some of your units on to the Paradise Falls location to get you to draw. But in this situation, probably not going to be as useful in that respect, but you do get to be protected from this Eleanor trigger. And the Eleanor's going to have to target something else. And it's probably not going to be that Violet either because the Violet does have to resist. So it also is protected from damage. But yeah, we do see some trading going on. We are taking out that Finnick, taking care of that Grandmother Willow. The good thing about that Eleanor coming down was that if you wanted to get that ping off, you had to exert the Grandmother Willow, and doing so does leave you open to being traded into here.
Yeah, and the thing about the Emerald decks, especially these aggro princess style decks, is that they have the means to draw cards. They have the means to see more cards. Mike Wazowski, Miriam potentially, if you're building towards that, Nani's. So the issue with aggro is it can run out of cards. Amber Emerald has that problem less often with the Eleanor draw, even so has that problem less often. Something I do want to point out here, and we're seeing an Ursula, and boy oh boy does it hit, and it hits. There's two possible targets here: the Strength of a Raging Fire and the Touch the Sky. But I want to touch on Volatile's deck choicing here, because for those of you that are going out and playing in major tournaments or just playing in general, there's really two styles of this Emerald Steel deck. You've got this Touch the Sky version, and there's this other version that's kind of been emerging that uses the detectives. It uses specifically Darkwing Duck and Launchpad to have a more stable draw. And the Max Goof is a dead giveaway that we're running Touch the Sky and Paradise Falls because Max Goof's point is to grab that card and potentially get to 8 or 12 draw in a turn. So Freddy, seeing that Max Goof, told him, hey, songs are all about this deck, and so this Ursula is actually probably going to hit. And so that's what led Freddy to feel comfortable with dropping that Ursula here, where otherwise, if it's the detectives version, may not be as effective.
Yeah, and I mean, I would kind of feel like maybe Volatile would have maybe preferred the detective version in this matchup, just because, like you said, like with the detectives especially, you have cards that will help you control a bit earlier on. It has a bit more of the kind of mid-range aspect that lets you take care of aggro a little bit. But I mean, Volatile is still doing not too bad a job here. The Eleanor is still on the field, but we are getting some trades in. And right now the board looks not too bad. Unfortunately, Freddy does retain 3 characters here. If he would like, he can go in and trigger this Eleanor again. And triggering Eleanor just means you get card draw once again. So
Yeah,
always good.
it's worth it. It can be worth it here. And really, the question becomes how much. Okay, so we are already seeing that there's a potential to have 3 more characters on the ready if we do not deal with this Eleanor. So Freddy playing that Bobby Zimmerowski allows him to see more of the cards in the deck. The goal here, of course, is to continue to spread out to go as wide as you can. If you do deal with my characters, but hopefully you can't deal with the Eleanor, then I will still be able to trigger the Eleanor again. And so we see, just kidding. I'm joking, folks. I'm kidding. You're going to deal with an Eleanor whether you want it or not. And boy, oh boy, is it going to hurt.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would be considering if I wanted to do this quest here, mainly because there is a character, the Huntsman, on the opposing side that could take out my Eleanor and swing back. But playing a second Eleanor just kind of just answers that question for me, because now I get double triggers, I get double draws. I'm taking this. Even if you take the first Eleanor out, like, I am probably going to be retaining the board here. If you want to take the Eleanor out, you're going to have to send the Huntsman into it. And the Vixie isn't going to be taking anything out, which means I'll probably have 3 other characters here for the Eleanor to trigger, unless something goes on here. So we're going to have to see what Volatile has in mind. I think we do have to take the Eleanor. I think that's a given. We can't let that happen again, because that was tragic. But yeah, if this field stays this way, Vixie is going to go for the quest, but it looks like we are going to be passing back. That means Eleanor is going to have a really good trigger here onto that Vixie to get it off the board if this does pan out the way that it's looking like it's going to.
It's crazy. And Volatile putting down an Eleanor themselves, but that's such a low tempo Eleanor, because as you were just alluding to, Volatile was put in a position where he had to challenge into this board. So, playing this Eleanor knowing that I'm having to sacrifice one of my characters, not where you want to be. And Freddy dropping the Mickey Mouse on Volatile's face and questing out, making both characters effectively 0 or less strength. Oh my goodness, 0. Talk to me about that.
Board. I think this is a pretty difficult situation to get back from, to say the least. But yeah, we're kind of seeing the pitfalls of this Emerald Steel deck. Possibly, like, this seems like a tough matchup to get over here. I will say, maybe a little unfortunate on Volatile's side. We did see he had that Touch the Sky early on in his hand, but no Paradise Falls, so we didn't get to really activate this combo that this deck is really known for. And not only that, with that Ursula, he also lost the strength early on, which really would have helped maybe drain it in a little bit. But yeah, we saw Volatile try and trade in there to try and control the battlefield a little bit, but Freddy just traded back, took out every threat that Volatile had, and then just added his own with the Eleanor into another Eleanor, and then we just keep swarming the field so the Eleanor's effect continuously triggers. It's a little bit of a benefit that we see Amber Emerald get to utilize Eleanor a little bit better than Emerald Steel in this situation specifically, because Emerald Steel can definitely get use out of the Eleanor, but not if things are going as quickly as it did right there.
Yeah, I mean, Freddy never once taking his foot off the gas. Volatile on the back foot pretty much the entire time there, and just not able to recover. Now, Volatile will get the opportunity to go first. We'll get the opportunity to be on the play here. And, certainly that's where you want to be in this matchup, especially against an aggro deck. You want to go first to get the leverage. And then when you're on the draw, your job is to find the right tools to delay the aggro deck from wanting to exert. So there are tools to do it. Volatile does have the tools and the skill set to slow down the aggro deck. The question becomes, will Volatile find those pieces in game 3? But before we can get to game 3, Volatile needs to answer game 2. Volatile needs to win this, or else there is no game 3.
Right. There's a really tall hill he has to climb here. But I mean, if anyone's going to do it, I know a Volatile, obviously a very decorated player in his own right, so it could be the case that he take this back here. But one of the interesting things also about the ICL that I was thinking of is there is the situation where, because in the way that this tournament is formatted, you kind of have sometimes these situations where you say, hey, I can gear my deck a certain way, hoping, because really you're only playing one opponent, and not only that, you are you're forced to choose certain colors because obviously you can't share any of your teammates, right? So there is always the possibility that you decide to gear your deck and hope that you don't find a certain color combo because it was already played already, or maybe it's against another round. So there is the possibility here that Volatile is just not, maybe can't handle this deck, because Amber Emerald is going to be the premier deck. If you're going to be playing the ICL or any tournament, you're probably going to see it, one version of it or another. And it could be the case that maybe his deck isn't geared towards it, but if it is, then we're gonna have to see. I think this round, or this turn, is gonna be really important to see if he will be able to handle this deck or not. Because going first into this, if you can't take it back here, like it's the last round, that doesn't happen. It was gonna be a tough hill, like regardless.
It's certainly, yeah, you're 100% right about that. And as we see these players committing to their altar here, and working through that, getting to that point here as they think through it, we see Freddie using a hand marker. I believe that is a Stitch hand marker.
Love it.
Classic. You gotta love Stitch hanging out with the giant fairy Tinkerbell playmat there. And Volatile is going to go ahead and ink a steel card, when that would happen real quick, to play a Todd, signaling potentially that a Vixie may be on its way on turn 2 here.
Yeah, having Todd, it's really nice as well, because we do see a lot of two character, like one strength, two willpower characters on the opposing side, like this Bobby. So having a 2 strength character to respond is not bad at all. Of course, we also have the opportunity to shift into the Todd and Copper if we so please. Not sure how important that is going to be in this matchup, especially if your opponent is going a little too fast, but we'll see if that is the line that ends up being taken.
Yeah, it's tough because you as you're kind of alluding to, it's a little bit of a low tempo play here to shift the character. We know that Volatile is running Eleanor's, wants to try to go wide, and shifting generally is in opposition to that strategy. Freddie, of course, is going to want to go wide here with Amber Emerald, as we see Violet Parr finding its way onto the table with a quest, a cheeky little quest from Todd. And I say cheeky, but it's not that cheeky. At least it feels pretty safe, as Bobby is just going to kind of accept it. Like, what are you going to do about it, Bobby? Deal with it.
Yeah, but Volatile is starting with a pretty good start here. We do have the Todd, we do have the Violet, really strong enough characters to challenge the board if needed. Interesting though that we do see Freddy on turn 1 with the Bobby. He did discard a Pocahontas, which normally we kind of see as a follow-up play to this Grandmother Willow, but I assume maybe because the Aurora wasn't found at the start, we're just trying to just continue the tempo here. We follow the Grandmother Willow with yet another Bobby. Again, we see kind of a similar start as game 1, a little bit better in the sense that we are getting to filter our hand a little bit with the Bobbies as opposed to with those Phoenix. But yeah, we're ditching the Ursula. We did see that Volatile inked a Strength as his first ink, so maybe we're just saying that we hope that he doesn't have another, or the fact that he's inking them might just demonstrate that he won't be able to build enough of a board to get the most out of it. But
yeah, I mean, tough spot to be in for sure. Both players just kind of trying to figure out their footing here, and the Huntsman finding its way. Ward, the Huntsman with Ward, hanging out now with Volatile. As we go ahead and we send Violet Parr in on the quest. Again, we're looking at Freddy's side of the board. These characters are kind of light. And that Violet Parr with that ability, kind of where you want to be, and Volatile is saying, "Do it! Like, go ahead! I dare you! Send your characters in. You won't. You won't do it."
Yeah, but a good position to be in. Freddie is going to start with the Mike Wazowski, and Volatile does find a Pegasus to add to his hand. But yeah, he has a really good board here. It's a really threatening board that's making Freddie not want to quest. I'm kind of interested, like, I'm wondering, like, if I would have just quested a Todd there as well, because yeah, we see all these like 1-2 characters on my opponent's side of the field. Like, what can you really do here? Tramp has been exiled from the game. We don't see the 2-cost Tramp anymore. That we don't see really an ability to kind of like get good trades off that the dogs version of this deck used to be able to do. Maybe I want to like get a bit more lore while I can here.
Yeah,
But,
the choice not to quest that Todd, I think, tells me that Volatile may be rocking a Todd and Copper team shift in hand and might be over signaling a bit of fear and saying, you know what, I don't want to risk it. So that could, like, we could be overtelling Freddie in that decision, like, you know, like I got it, but I don't got it. And so Volatile maybe trying to overprotect that Todd. And you know, maybe that decision is what's at play here, because I kind of agree with you. You know, you would think, like, for the same reasons why you'd quest the Violet, you'd also quest the Todd. So as we're gonna go ahead and ink a Touch the Sky, we either have another one or we need the ink, and we're opting to use our ink to quest that Todd into a Todd Copper.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
Thunderbolt!
quest. It's gonna be a Thunderbolt.
It's
Okay.
a Thunderbolt.
Okay, so we were signaling that Todd and Copper, like you mentioned, but we want to sing here. We're getting the Thunderbolt, which is really nice. We're getting that Mike Wazowski off the field, which is really pesky to deal with. One of the better new cards to come out of this set, because not only is he a huge butt with a 0-4 stat line, but he gets to, you know, get you more cards in hand, which we know Amber Emerald loves to do. We want to keep that aggro line going. But yeah, now that we have managed to pull off this combination, it seems like we are going to continue questing. We need to keep getting lore while we can here before Amber Emerald just continues to build like too big of a board to deal with.
Yeah, and Volatile, I think, managing through this very effectively, seeing the opportunity to go ahead and quest, and, you know, knowing that if Freddie were to challenge into this board, Freddie would be in a lot of trouble post that turn. And so identifying that, interesting, Freddie opting to play Todd. I think this is an interesting choice. You don't normally see this card in this build. Todd allows you to draw 2 cards and discard a card, trying to find that Eleanor, probably trying to find more answers. You know, we talked about that Pocahontas that Freddie was put in a position to discard earlier. Could be punished if we see a Peacemaker here, or a Peacekeeper rather, to try to get some advantage that way. But sometimes, Zero, you got to do what you got to do. You know?
You got to do what you got to do. But one other thing that this Todd kind of signals is, like, this might be the circle variant of this deck. I would say it's probably the circle variant of this deck. And it would kind of just show, like, with these Bobbies, with these Todds, like, we could be gearing up for a big circle. But we don't see any big characters being thrown into discard yet. So that theory is not confirmed at the moment. But if that is the case, it might be a slower version of this deck. But so far, Freddie has been all gas, no brakes, which he continues to be with the Pocahontas, continuing to play a 1-cost character for free here. His board is getting ginormous, and Volatile is still just at 4 lore. Like, if he doesn't pick up the pace here, a Pocahontas shift here would be devastating, because, like, what can you do once the shift comes down? You quest out your whole board, and that's going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and then quest it again. Double quest is a problem here. And yeah, Volatile, to your point, is okay. So we're seeing Eleanor, so that could certainly help a little bit. Eleanor pretty good here, and I mean, you know, you're gonna want to try to take advantage of that as best you can. The question becomes, does Volatile have another song? No. So we are going in for what appears to be a full quest of this board, taking him from 4 all the way to 9.
Yeah, and we're gonna get one more, I believe, off of that Eleanor.
Yep.
And if I was Volatile here, I think my brain is saying quest as much as possible. I need to end this game, because things could turn sour real quick. If the Pocahontas does shift, what are we threatening on the board here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not too bad yet.
Yeah.
So if we really start it right now in a position here where Amber Emerald is going to be really difficult to answer unless they have a Dale. If they have a Dale, even then, like, we don't have too many, like, giant willpower characters on the board. But yeah, I think this is definitely the right choice here. We get Eleanor on the board, we get full questing, and kind of just threatening to win the game ASAP here.
Yeah, I think a Dale could certainly flip this board on its head. If we do find that ready for a shot Dale, that could be devastating. The question becomes, though, Zero, does he have it? We are turning to sideways.
Doesn't look like. Yeah, there's only one Willow on the board.
He's only got one. Yeah, I see one Willow, and that tells me it is another Todd. So we're trying to find something. We're looking for something, Zero. What are we looking for? I don't know, but we're trying to find something
giant to throw in the trash, hopefully, for maybe a Circle of Life. That would be a little slow, though, especially when we don't have. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. I'm questioning if this is a Circle deck or not. Maybe not.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's just filter.
Yeah, I think Todd is just a cheeky way to see more cards. I think We're trying to find more Eleanors. We're trying to find more things. We see the Mickey Mouse finding its way into. Oh, okay. So we're opting to send Finnick in. So Finnick is going to get a chance to send a character back to hand. Freddy having to decide, opting to send back the Pegasus. Okay. Which may be the only option that he can pick. Looking at the math, though, is it? No, because
I think you can choose the Violet if
choose the
he
par.
so
Yeah,
chose.
choose
Yeah,
Violet.
Violet could have been chosen, but I think we're just assessing here that I mean I think either of them being thrown back is kind of results in a similar
Yeah.
board state. So
Yeah.
just have to choose one of them possibly, and just maybe gauging that the evasive threat that we can't
Yeah.
really touch might be the one to send back at the time.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, Freddie, if Freddie is holding the card in the universal symbol for, I'm about to challenge you, but I haven't fully
Yes.
decided if that's exactly what I want to do yet.
Oh, everybody knows that symbol, but yeah, we're trying to consider how to get in there, and we are getting rid of the huntsman here. And I think if you're volatile here, you are happy to see that if at any situation you force an aggro player to challenge into you, you know that you're doing something right.
100%. Yeah, the second you push the aggro player to the control position, like I'm all smiles, dude. Like sign me up for that all day, dude. Like, I'll do that. Yeah, go ahead. You want a 3-for-1 me? Okay, sure.
Yeah, and that Violet is going to be almost nigh impossible to get off the board unless you do find that tail, because with that resist, all these like little one strength, 0 strength characters, you're not touching her. So I mean, the Huntsman was a good choice, but we are losing some characters here, and that Todd and Copper is untouchable. You don't have any evasive characters, so if you don't find a way to win this and quickly, I think Emerald and Steel is going to be able to run away with this.
Yeah, that is certainly the case here. Freddie trying to put a damper here on Volatile's climb to the top here. Volatile sitting at 10, but 2 Eleanors will not let you go quietly in the night. That's Volatile's got. We can't see Volatile's face, but if I was Volatile, I'd be smiling from ear to ear right now, dude. Like,
especially after Freddie just did this to him the previous game. This has got to feel like just desserts where he's like, I can do this too. And double Eleanor always going to be something sweet you see. And yeah, we're gonna get another 2 lore here, and suddenly Volatile is gonna be the aggressor and gonna be able to pop one of these characters since so many of them have only 2 willpower here.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
choices.
The choice is yours, Volatile, and boy oh boy, do you have quite the choices to make. We see Bobby Zimmerowski,
hit the Bobby.
one of 2, sending its way into the discard pile. Volatile gaining the additional lore and drawing 2 cards, and yeah, just so much value from those Eleanors.
Yeah,
and
I think
Freddie
Freddie was
saying,
just
nah.
checking. Yeah,
Freddie's like,
he was
nah.
just, is that the Dale? Maybe that would save him, just for the turn at least. But no, it was not. And we are going to see a game 3 here going into. So, am I correct in my assumption? So, since we are watching this instead of the main event, this is the match that matters. We were 1 against 1 here, and this is going to decide everything here. So,
correct. Yeah. Yeah. So Manifest actually they drew in game 1. So both teams drew in game 1. Manifest won game 2. So Lore Lab needs to win game 3 in order for this to be a draw. If Manifest can close this out, they will have won with a 2-0-1 record.
Okay, so this does matter, just in a different way than I thought. But yeah. So if we're looking at this correctly, we are. If Volatile wins this, he's gonna stave off a complete loss for the team at least, and that's what he's going to be fighting for. But that's got to be a crazy seat to be sitting in right now, because you are sitting as the anchor of your team, trying to stop your team from losing. But not only that, you probably knew in the back of your head you're going to be playing against Amber Emerald because you had not seen it yet in the first 2 rounds. So that is a hot seat for sure.
Yeah, and not just against Amber Emerald, Princess Aggro, but with them on the play.
On the play. That's terrifying.
So it's like, it's rough as we see both players now drawing their initial 7-card hand, doing the customary thing, which I'm a huge fan of this. And I'm going to shout this out to everybody. Please, when you're drawing your hand, spread your hand out so your opponent can see it. Okay, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. I'm not saying anybody's doing anything intentionally. You might accidentally draw 1 too many cards, and you want to just be on the up and up. So if you're at a DLC, if you're at a CCQ, draw your hand spread out so that your opponent can see. I think it's a good practice.
Yeah, and I count them out too. I count them out loud and then like when I'm mulliganing, I'll count them out loud.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes something might go wrong. So always a good situation. Give yourself and your opponent all the information you can get. No shifty stuff going around. But yeah,
no.
very cool. We
Yeah.
do have a good sign here though. Volatile did take game 2, which means like his deck is able to do it. His deck is able
Yeah.
to stave off this aggro threat. Can he do it on the draw though? That is going to be the big question, and one that we're gonna have to get answered in this upcoming game. And some
Yeah.
quick games too. So there is a chance we might be able to go watch another one right after this.
Yeah, I think the audience is hoping for the Malferin. They want to see Malferin in that game 3 that we were supposed to get, but unfortunately for the Mad Hatters, they were able to secure that 2-0. So we opted to cut here, but it looks as though, and I'm making a total assumption based on what I'm reading in some of some of the archives here, that we might go to see it, if assuming that game doesn't end before this one does. So
Right.
so we hopefully will be able to see parts of the Malferin match.
Right. But yeah, there's going to be a big one for Volatile here. Can he be that anchor for his team and get this win? If he does, that this is a huge uphill battle for him. So it'll be a big ups for him for being able to do that for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And against Freddie, who's, again, as I mentioned,
Right.
nationally qualified, fantastic player. And if I can say so myself, I taught him how to play this deck. So he should be this should be like a no-brainer for him, So if he could beat Freddie on this deck that I taught him how to play, boy oh boy. Let me tell you what.
You're gonna have to have choice words for Freddie after this if he does not manage to squeak a win here out on the play.
All right, so let's talk about that card. Okay, so Freddie has opted to include a card. That card is Big Nose. It is a vanilla 1/3. Okay, it's in there. I see the look on your face, Zero. I get it. Okay, I made the same look on my face too. So the 1/3 is in there because it deals with three. It deals with 3 willpower characters with the Dale. So it is essentially in there for the Dale power. It survives things like the Angel. It survives the 2 ping attacks that can happen. It is in his deck because, and he won't tell you this, because I played Young MacGuffin, which is the exact same card in my deck. But he doesn't want to give me credit, so he opted to play Big Nose instead.
Of course.
So just to be clear. And I'm glad that I get to be on the ICL telling everybody the truth after he lied.
It's so good here that he can't really defend himself either. That's the perfect situation for you. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like I've been in that situation too, where I'm like, that is a great card. But especially with those vanillas, you can just like swap them around a little bit, and suddenly, your idea is my idea.
Absolutely, yeah. It's honestly, I like it. I think it's a good inclusion. You don't play 4 of them, but you play 2 of them. So if you need it as it's like Thomas Light, as we see Volatile playing Todd again, signaling maybe a Vixie, signaling maybe an upcoming shift. Todd, a fantastic opener for this deck strategy if we can get the Vixie down. The problem though is that Vixie, while is a fast quester, so we see Dale finding its way into the discard pile with Bobby. While Vixie is a fast quester, while Todd and Copper quest for 2, Volatile is currently sitting on the back foot, currently in the control position, having to deal with Freddy starting as the aggro player. So can Volatile have a start here that forces Freddy to kind of freeze up a little bit? And Vixie, again, fast quester, but 1 strength is not the defender you're looking for necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, being on the play here, I think Freddie, we see this Dale that he was so desperately looking for the game before, but now not as useful since you're on the play. You're trying to just kind of get going here. We also see he starts with the Aurora this time around. It kind of opens the position to be able to get that Eleanor out if you quest, but it does not look like that is going to be the case. We're just going to continue on. Grandmother Willow into the Mike Wazowski. And a miss. That's
miss.
I cannot explain how much it hurts when your opponent plays a Mike Wazowski and you whiff off of it. That's the most painful feeling I feel like of this.
So remember Daisy Duck? Remember how bad it was when you whiffed on Daisy Duck? Yeah, but now it's that. But now your opponent draws a card.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Like instead of lore, you get cards. I'm like, Mike Wazowski. I would say just almost infinitely a better card.
It is so good. Mike Wazowski is such a good card. The high climbing Mike Wazowski, and the Enchanted, by the way, beautiful Enchanted. Never wanted a picture of a creature with a single eye more in my life. It's such a good card. And Freddy, granted, we don't see Eleanor here, and Volatile was able to win game 2 on the back of multiple Eleanors while Freddy was just trying to find it. So Freddy not finding it early, might this be a good sign for Volatile that we can reclaim this game? It's going to really boil down to these next few turns and what Volatile can put down to deal with this board. It's going to be a big component here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. I can see him thinking super hard on this turn, and that's because I think this is one of the most monumental turns probably of this game, at least. Like, this is gonna depend on if you are able to keep up with this Amber Emerald deck, because they are getting a pretty good curve here. They've played completely on tempo. They have 2 Grandmother Widows on board now. They still have the Aurora just in case, and we do get to peek at the hand here. No Eleanor at the very least, but no songs either. That makes Ursula kind of a really slow play here because, like you mentioned about the Vixie, this also only has 1 strength. Really hard to make a dent on this board with this Ursula.
Yeah, it's
but
tough.
Vixie is a 3 cost. There's a possibility we sing here, and is that it, or are we just questing?
No,
We
it's
are
a
just
quest.
questing.
It's a quest of 2. So we did not find the strength of a Raging Fire here. Now that doesn't mean we don't necessarily have a Thunderbolt that we could potentially deploy coming up here on this next turn, but Freddy is going to need to essentially just go fast. I think seeing the 1 strength Vixie, the 1 strength Ursula. Oh no! If we do have a Thunderbolt, though,
Oh no!
Wazowski might have just prevented that from happening. The question becomes: Does Freddy value that fear? Does Freddy worry about this Thunderbolt potentially incoming, or is Freddy not worried about it? We're going to find out in his decision here as to what we play and what we ink.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, I think we see the problem with this like play draw disparity here, because the game previous we were able to shift. Oh, well, we could still do that. We could shift into the Thunderbolt here. That would help a lot, but yeah, we're gonna have to see. David is first. David is free because of the 2 Willows.
Yeah, and so the question becomes, what do we use these 2 for? Is it an Ursula? Is it something else? Freddy making some choices now. I think thinking through what are the possibilities. Thinking through
Ursula
the 14.
gets
Okay. So we're inking the Ursula. We're valuing the Finnick. We're saying, hey, let's send a character back to hand, saying the Vixie is too fast. Going back to your hand.
And yeah, this is a really good spot for the Amber Emerald player here in Freddy, because we have this David now protecting everything. And if we look at Volatile's board, it is not in a condition where it can kind of challenge this board at all. Like you mentioned, if there is a Thunderbolt, that is something. But it's still like we're way further behind than if we remember the game before. And
so we found ourselves in Angela here.
Angela,
so that'll give Challenger. Yeah.
This helps. We do get to take the David out without suffering any consequence right now. We give him Challenger 2 and Resist 2, so he does not take any damage in response here, and we do get David off the board, which is great. We only have the Ursula here, though, so even though we've cleared the David, we probably can't take any of these other characters out. We do play another Todd to kind of just add to our field of characters. But yeah, it's not looking too great.
It's rough. I mean, it's not the end of the game. Freddy does have, is starting to go wide here. We're looking at 5 lore on Freddy's side to Volatile's 2 lore. Volatile sitting with 4 characters. In terms of pressure that Volatile can apply to the board, the Angela does have 2 strength. The other character, Todd, has 2 strength. Both Todds have 2 strength. The Ursula with 1. So Volatile's not completely defenseless. We can deal with the board. If Freddy were to try to go into a full quest situation here, could deal with the Willows pretty cleanly here. But Freddy, knowing what needs to happen, immediately snap quests that Mike Wazowski to reveal a Pluto. Volatile reveals a Vixie.
I'm wondering if he's fishing to see if he can find an Eleanor, because that would be a terrific card to pull off of here. Maybe that's a good sign for Volatile because of how quickly he quested that Mike Wazowski. He might not have it, in which case he might still be in the clear here at the very least. I think Eleanor would have been a death sentence if played on curve, but since it hasn't been, since it's still not there, we have a shot here. We have a good shot.
So you're saying there's a chance, and that is 100% what is happening here. Volatile needs to hang on that though, because this is going to be what ultimately decides whether or not Volatile can make up the difference and solve for this. Both players, we were 1-1 here in this round 3. Both players trying to score a victory for their team, for their respective teams. Freddie right now slightly ahead of the lore, slightly ahead of the board state, but it's not too late. It's anyone's game still.
Not over yet. Like something like he did the last game where he shifted Todd Copper and sung at Thunderbolt, that could just, turn the whole game on its heel, possibly. That's definitely a good start. But this Mike Wazowski is already getting a lot more mileage than it did the game before when it just got wiped off the board right after it hit it. It's already drawing a lot of cards for Freddie, but we're going to have to hope that we find a way to answer this quickly. The good news here is it is exerted with no bodyguard this time around, but it's going to take 2 swings into it. That it's going to be... we're going to have to see how worth it that is. It's going to depend on what Freddie decides to quest with on this turn.
Exactly. I mean, yes, it's like the Wazowski has given him so much value, could help him find that Eleanor so quick, but those willows are a huge problem too.
Huge.
The Aurora that's sitting there hanging out could be a problem too. So there's so many avenues, and then you have to wonder, like, do you value the card draw from the Mike Wazowski, or do you disperse the units? And if you can deal with the characters, you do so. And it's just a rough spot to be in for Volatile. And will Freddie even give those characters up? Freddie's looking at his hand as though he's got a couple of different options, really thinking through what the right play is. So has a few options available to him. We're going to find out which one he opts to go with here.
Yeah, and especially like I think we were talking about the Todd earlier, where you normally see this in like circle variants of this deck, but it's really good in this kind of situation where we haven't drawn Eleanor. We really want to. So something like Todd is a great card to play here. You get to draw 2, pitch something you don't need, and hopefully get closer to it. But it doesn't look like Freddie has it yet, or at the very least, he might not want to ink to be able to get up to it. We're gonna have to see what he decides to do here.
Yeah. I mean, and Freddie asking about that Todd, I think trying to figure out and assess whether this board needs to be dealt with, and by board, of course, I mean the single Todd that's exerted, and whether it's worth it to even do. We have another Todd. Freddie opting to play an Ursula. Did we find it? We see Eleanor, Angela. We see Todd and Copper. We see Vixie and Vixie. No songs available for Freddie to pull.
So yeah, this is not even a terrible hand for Volatile here. He does have the option to shift the Todd and Copper if he so chooses. Maybe if he does end up finding a song. Grateful that he didn't have one at the moment there. But he also has the Eleanor in hand. So maybe that can start the momentum shift here back into Volatile's favor.
Yeah. I mean, you've got and Freddie seeing the Angela, seeing the things that could potentially create a very, very terrible board state for him, opting to not quest in Volatile's face, saying, okay, well, I know you've got surprises. They're not surprises if I know about them. So you know what? You're not going to catch me with an Angela off the top rope. Instead, I'm going to lay low. I'm going to draw back, and I'm going to wait for a better opportunity. Volatile opting to play that Angela in order to boost the other Angela to cleanly deal with the Mike Wazowski rather than sending in multiple characters.
And we get the shift to Todd and Copper as well. So yeah, very it's looking better for Volatile here because Freddie is not finding what he needs here. And now that we get rid of the Mike Wazowski, there's even a lesser chance, I would say, to finding what we are looking for. But at the same time, the damage is already kind of done by the Mike Wazowski. But the good news is, Amber Emerald, we're still sitting at only 6 lore, and Emerald Steel for Volatile at 4. You're right at the heels. They're not too far ahead. The board may look a little scary, a little daunting, but we have a lot of stuff on our own board to be able to deal with it. If Freddie ever decides to go in without like proper protection, and he decides to go for a quest, let's say, we do also have the Eleanor in hand to possibly call. I was just saying, like, we were due for a Thunderbolt, and of course Mike Wazowski is the one that finds it. That is terrible. That's the worst thing you want to see right there.
You know, sometimes all you need is one really good big eye to find the problems and deal with them. And what we found was a Thunderbolt and stuck it on the bottom of the deck. You got to love it. Freddie, and not only that, but can we please talk about the fact that Mike Wazowski was free? That was a free Mike Wazowski because of those willows. Didn't even have to use any of his ink. Ugh.
Yeah, and then I guess we can talk back about like the Detectives like variant of this deck. You have stuff like the Terror that flashed the night that would have
Yeah.
taken these Willows out forever ago. So yeah, maybe Volatile wishing just a little bit that he could have had that variant of the deck to be able to handle this. But
Yeah.
we get a question with Aurora. Is this a sign that we found what we're looking here for here?
Oh no, it's a
No,
Rapunzel.
it is a Rapunzel. Still
It's a
not bad.
Rapunzel.
Still a pretty good card
Yeah.
to find there. Tempo change into our favor.
Yeah, and Freddie identifying like, hey,
Yes.
I have the numbers, I have the math. So doing the math, taking himself all the way to 14, removing a very viable challenger, and telling Volatile, even if you deal with this board, I've got so much value amassed here. I've got this game,
That is a
and
lot of
so yeah,
characters.
it's tough. Holy moly!
Like, how can we even answer this? We have 3, 6, 9, 10 being threatened on the board here. We're gonna have to remove 4 of these characters at least. The good news is we have some characters on the board to be able to do it. That Ursula
Yeah.
is not doing much for us though, but Todd's able to take some out. The Angelas can take some out as well. So the question goes from there is, we remove a couple of these threats. Do we still have enough after to continue to answer? Because Emerald Steel is not one to be able to board wipe very effectively. If they get ahead in tempo, as we saw in game 2 for Volatile, then they can get ahead. But in this situation, might be a little harder. But we'll have to see if he has it.
Yeah, certainly. As I mean, just the most uncomfortable decisions to be made here for Volatile. Volatile doing the math and might be realizing that this is just not the place we want to be, but you got to do what you got to do. There's choices to be made. You got to make them. And we know you got some stuff in hand potentially to help a little bit, but not a whole lot unless you drew something really, really powerful. But it's not over, folks. The game is not over as
Yet.
Volatile is deciding the best way to go about this.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that we don't have the Todd and Copper on the board. Not only that, it's also unfortunate, I'd say, that we lost a Thunderbolt off the top, because I mean that could have been a possibility to help here if we had shifted the Todd and Copper and Thunderbolted. But even then, like we do finally get Eleanor onto the board here. But is it a little finally, but is it a little too late here? I don't think that is enough to answer the board as of yet. We're gonna have to a little bit more if Volatile has a little more.
Like at the very best, that Ursula 1 damage is at least going to be able to like in conjunction with the Eleanor ping, like that could deal with the character at least.
Yes.
So I mean, in that way, it does help. But I think we're kind of like, to your point, we're kind of in that it too little too late moment and having to decide that.
Yes.
We see the challenges happening now.
Get chopped.
Yep. Angela coming in. I guess stone beats wood is how that works.
That is how it works. But yeah, we're gonna hit. I assume the Aurora here, or the Aurora, and we get another character off the board. But that's just enough. That's just enough now.
It's a fire the cannon.
Oh, a fire the cannon. That helps a little bit more. We get another character off the board, and the Eleanor is going to get the Aurora off the board as well.
So, you know what would really be crazy for Freddie right now is if he top decked an Eleanor. If he top decked an Eleanor, it'd be a game win. So let's see if Freddie can do it as Volatile is inking and deciding with that single. Okay, so we're playing a Todd. Volatile is extending the board out and saying, Freddie, I'm putting myself in it. I'm trying to get myself into a much better board state for the coming game. You have 5 characters. You do not win this game. If you top deck an Eleanor, you win. If you don't, I'm still in it.
I'm seeing this fire the cannons come off from Volatile though, and I'm just, that's so unfortunate how late it came. If it came earlier and maybe like took down a tree in the start or something of the sort, that would have been much it would have been great for Volatile. But a little late, but still not too late, because it did save him from a defeat, at least for this turn.
It did, so we drew a card for the Mike Wazowski. Miriam drew us a card, and we found that David is going to come down now too. So David pretty good here, and Freddie is going to quest out again, going all the way to 19 and telling Volatile, deal with me or lose.
deal with every single character on this board, including the ready character as well. So we have to find something to answer both like the entire board and the ready character. Well, the ready character that isn't able to be challenged at the moment. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to see if Volatile will be able to do it or not. He does have a nice clutch of cards in hand, but he hasn't been playing any songs, so we have to assume that he hasn't really had them from the start. But
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
and
see if he can answer this.
for sure. And Freddy is lining up the characters in a way that Volatile can visibly understand what's going on. So just indicating, like visually, you have a David you have to deal with first. Then you have the remaining of the board that are not bodyguards. Just kind of nice and cleanly showing the board state to Volatile. We are playing via webcam, so we obviously want to give a little bit of respect to the fact that it's not in person. It's a little bit more difficult to kind of grasp what's happening on the board. So good sportsmanship here. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's almost like he arranged them kind of like video game levels here. You gotta beat the bodyguard, and you gotta beat all the exerted characters, and then the final boss here is the ready character. Do you have an answer for that?
Miriam as the final boss right now is like sending me.
Oh yeah, she looks so smug in that card too.
She really does.
Look, I got
so
these
sweet though.
four town
So
tickets.
Oh goodness, Volatile now having to make these decisions. Volatile wanting to be able to deal with his board, get as many challenges in, deal with the Miriam, then eke out as much questing as possible. It's difficult for me to visualize without fully knowing what's in Volatile's hand at this point, if that's even possible. I think this is a full board commit to whatever Freddy's got going on his side of the board, and with the goal that we can in the future come out from outside of this and maybe start questing and win this game. But Freddy is banking on the fact that Volatile is not there. So we're moving stuff back. Volatile's okay. So Volatile's doing a little bit of character Jenga, like lining the character. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I do this too. You know what? Great minds think alike, because I do this too. I'm like, okay, I'm very visual. I got to see where everything goes, where we line things up. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, it is tough that Volatile just all of his characters are hitting for 2 or 1, except for the Eleanor, and that's not enough to get rid of the David. So you might have to commit 2 into the David there. Oh, we do shift the Todd and Copper. That does add a little bit of oomph, but it's still not 4 unless we do have a Thunderbolt. We find the Thunderbolt finally, and
choosing to use the David. Does that mean we have an answer to the Miriam?
Oh, interesting. That is tough.
That's an interesting choice. I have to assume that that's a strength.
There is.
It's a strength.
Yeah, okay, you have to answer the Miriam with that. Yeah, man, that Miriam put up a fight. You had to throw the strength.
Max Goof
right to take it out. Oh, another
Max Goof brings back the strength.
Okay,
it brings back a strength.
We have a game on our hands here. Is this enough to answer? I gotta assume that's gonna fly at the Mike Wazowski, but we're gonna have to sing that as well. That is removing another.
We're challenging with it. I don't think so. Wait, so that puts us out of the ability. No, because we can sing the strength still. We still have the Angela that can sing the strength.
Okay, I was wondering. I forgot what the cost for Angela is. So it is a 3 cost.
Yeah. So Angela can sing it, but that leaves us with just 2 other characters. It's an Ursula and a Todd. I don't think it's enough, folks.
I think it's enough. It was.
I think Volatile's doing the math, but not enough.
Oh, Volatile almost found the line. That was so close. All the songs were coming out at the end there.
Yeah, it was so close. Yeah, so we're singing the strength. The strength has to deal with the highest willpower character.
But yeah, here we get to take out one of these 1-2 characters with the Todd, but then that just leaves us with Ursula left on the board. Not enough to answer these 2 threats, but this is really
Ursula
close.
Plus the Eleanor ping.
Oh, plus the Eleanor. Oh, but that just means there's 1 character left.
Literally, it looks like we are literally going to be leaving a single character on the board for Freddy.
Wow.
Oh no, and Volatile doing the math and realizing that's it. This is what I got. This is what we're doing here. We're gaining a lore from the Eleanor trigger. Freddy turns the Ursula sideways and quests for the Ursula for the victory. And boy, oh boy, wow. So that puts the team Manifest in the victory spot here. So they were able to secure it. They tied game 1. They were able to win game 2 and 3. And so we are working now in the background to get you some additional action here. So just hang tight with us as we figure out.
Another game.
But Zero, your first game casting on the ICL. Talk to me. What are your thoughts? How'd you feel about it?
That was exciting. That, like, especially at the end there, where even it looked like too impossible to come back from, yet Voltaire almost did it. That was super close. He found the songs, he repeated the songs, and he ended up leaving just one character left that he couldn't answer on the board, which is so sad. That was so close. But I mean, the truth of the matter is, like, after he dealt with that whole board, Freddie was probably just gonna play more characters, and he would have to deal with that again. But the fact that he was able to crawl back, like, even a little bit there against those impossible odds was like that was exciting. That was super fun to watch.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It's those moments, and you start to think back, like, man, if I only done this, or if I only done that, if I had hard casted something instead of saying something, I'm sure that what's going to happen is both players will look back at those games. They'll look back to see how they did. They'll talk it over with their teams, because I'll tell you, having been in the ICL, I rewatched my games with my teammates, and man, was I mad at myself a lot. Some of the games that I saw back, and so I'm sure they're going to watch back their games and say, man, if only we had done this, or if only we had done that. And so being able to see that, I think, is really good for both players and both teams. But huge shout out to Freddie. And again, I'm only saying this because he can't hear me at the moment, because, but yeah.
Technically you won.
Yeah.
Really.
The winner here
technically
was
was you. Yeah,
it
exactly.
Me.
Yeah,
so
you were right.
I'll take it. I'll take it. As we see, we're just waiting. We're just hanging tight to see what's up. It sounds like we might be getting an interview. Oh no, I have to interview Freddie.
Oh no. Oh no. Your whole advantage was that he couldn't respond.
But yeah, now I gotta hear him. This is tough. Oh no. So I'm gonna need you to take the charge here, because if I gotta talk to him, it's gonna be crazy, dude. I hope you have some questions loaded up. I got a couple questions, but I gotta tell you, they're kind of loaded questions, if we're being honest with you.
Okay. I think my first question will be, is Gabe the reason you won?
Oh, I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, but that'll be exciting.
Yeah. And folks, for those of you that are wanting a game, we'll get to that game ASAP. I promise. We'll try to make this a fruitful interview, a good interview, and get you as much of a game as we can. I promise.
Absolutely.
Thank you all, friends, for hanging out with us. Oh no,
oh,
he's here.
No.
What's going on? Give us a second here. We're just waiting for you to be on screen so that all our friends can see you. And the phone. There you go. All right. There we go. Hey, look, it's Freddie.
Hey,
What's up,
Freddie.
peoples?
How are you doing? How are you feeling after that win right there?
A little nervous at the end, man. I thought he had all the songs. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah. But we were just saying, like, wow, that board looks impenetrable, and here he comes with the songs, almost breaking it. But it's gotta feel good there. I mean, I think anytime you play like an Amber Emerald deck, you look at steel, it makes you a little nervous regarding, like, doesn't matter what kind of steel deck it is. But yeah, how did you feel, like, kind of just walking into this match?
I mean, green steel, I've been playing a lot on ladder, so I kind of know the play patterns. It's not too bad. But it'd be a lot easier if we drew an Eleanor.
Right.
Like,
we saw you fishing hard for that.
I don't know how many cards I dug. I didn't see one. That was crazy.
Yeah, you got those Taz, you got that Mike Wazowski going for it, but yeah, the Eleanors really evaded you at the end there. But how do you feel about the card choices you made today? Do you think they panned out? Would you change anything in the future? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'll probably change a lot. But we were just testing out a bunch of stuff, me and the team. So the list isn't complete, but it's something.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Where did you get the idea for Big Nose, Freddie?
You see this thing right here?
There it is.
Right there. That's how I got the idea.
Oh, it's all your idea. God.
Yeah, all my idea. Whatever Gabe said is a lie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is recorded. I just want you to know. All right. So, Freddie, first of all, huge congratulations to you. Huge congratulations to Team Manifest for starting the team, for being on the ICL, for having a victory. I want to hear. Give us the shout outs. Who do you want to shout out, my friend?
Yeah, shout out to the squad, Manifest. We're a brand new team. We got a bunch of really well-rounded guys, all super strong players. A lot of us are qualified for Nats. We got CCS coming up this weekend. We're starting up to build all of our content and stuff. So take a look, keep out a watch out on Twitter and everything. But you know, we're looking to do big things. You know, we got a real good core group of guys, a lot of strong players, really putting in the work to figure out this meta, and let's see if we can get a dub. You know, maybe we win CCS, maybe we go to Worlds. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe with that big nose that you got inspiration from with
Right
Ron
here, buddy,
McGuffin.
right here.
Maybe that big nose.
All right, Freddie. So with that said, my friend, thank you for showcasing what that deck can do. I'm glad I taught you well. I love you. I'll see you later,
This
buddy.
guy. Later, buddy.
As we kick it to
Help us, Peter.
Malfarion
He
and
didn't
Kyle.
shout you out in his shout outs. He didn't shout you out.
That's
think
fine.
you-
That's fine. He's disrespectful, and that's okay. I'm used to it
Disrespectful.
at this point. That's what you get, you know? That's what you get for helping a guy out. But
Oh, of
we
course.
speaking of helping people out, chat, we did it. We figured it out. We got Malfarion versus
What is
Kyle
this on
going on
this
here.
board that I'm seeing right now? I'm sorry. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing Blurple, but this is not set to. This is not. This is not pre-rotation. We're playing Blurple, folks, and we are up against. And I see an aerial. So basically, this is X Steel deck on Malfarion's side. A Goliath with an aerial. Interesting.
Not only am I seeing Blurple, I'm seeing. Is that a Grand Pobby I see on the board?
Don't you disrespect Grand Pobby for 1
Grand
second.
Pobby. Oh, disrespect. Grand Pobby is one of my legacies, man. The most watched video on my channel, Grand Pobby. I love this card. But what is it doing here? Oh, I mean, it's doing a lot of moving. I see. Is that Lumpy? Is that the elephant?
It is a Lumpy. That is a Lumpy. That's a Hades, and we see Violet Parr, who does have the ability to move damage, of course, triggering Grand Pobby's ability here. So yeah, it looks like there's some synergy in terms of damage moving, and Grand Pobby not being rotated out. Turns out there is potentially a viable deck here. Kyle having won, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking at the lore pips on the top of the screen, so I'm hoping that these are correct. But if this is correct, Kyle has won a game. It looks like we have not won a game yet on Malfarion's side. Malfarion trying to figure this out.
Oh man. But this is exciting. What is this deck? I wish I was watching the whole time because we've got Grand Pobby, we've got Blurple. Oh my god, dude, these are like my favorite things that I'm seeing on the board here. Blurple's not dead. What has been going on? But yeah, what are we seeing here? Okay, so it looks like Malfarion is playing Blue Steel. We saw a one jump ahead being played there. I assume just to get Ariel's songs out here to take out that Hades.
Yeah, I mean,
Kyle is still in the lead here. I'm saying with 16 lore, is currently on the board.
Yeah, and we got 2 aerials and a Goliath. So when Malfarion finally gets a song out, boy oh boy, is it going to hurt. but we got to find the songs first. It looks like both players. Let's see here. So I think Malfarion doing some math potentially as we are figuring this out.
He's considering what to do here because I mean, I think he just played the other aerial this turn, if I caught that correctly. So I mean, not enough to deal with the board right here.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at?
Looks like they're working through some stuff here. Okay. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think because Kyle ended the turn with 3 cards in hand, due to the Goliath, I think they were resolving that. I guess it was forgotten. Like they weren't reminded. So I think they were taking care of that. So they're working through it. They were dealing with the judge, and both players are solving for that. I think the way the judge generally will rule it is they'll ask to rewind back to a point where the game is going to happen. So like they're going to rewind back exactly to the trigger just to confirm things. It looks like. So
yeah, I think I assume what the issue was Malfarion was playing the entire turn with the assumption that the Demona wasn't going to ready. But I mean, I'm not sure if he had the out anyway, but just the fact that he couldn't ready right there, or that the Demona was going to ready, it suddenly poses a threat lore-wise as well. And then now we don't have enough to answer everything on the board, at least on that turn.
And unfortunately, it looks like this game is over before it got started for us. So for those of you that were waiting to see it, I apologize. That was not the case. I know,
excited.
but
This is a glimpse.
Yeah, we did get a glimpse though of that Sapphire Steel. We did get a glimpse of that Blurple. My goodness. And the Mad Hatters locking this whole thing up 3-0.
3-0.
That's crazy. That is going to be such a huge lift for them, because the way that the Swiss rounds work is essentially you get points for not only each round, but you also get points based on the number of victories that you had within that round. So having gone 2-0 here, like having 3 sequences of 2-0s, so going 6-0 today is a big deal for them. It's going to hurt the Illumineer's Kitchen to have effectively ended this day with no points. And that's tough, because you want to at least win a game here or there to try to get it. If you ever get a chance to play in the ICL, I'm telling you, the math is sharp. What really rounds the edges out on the math is that there is no IDing, because again, every point matters. So it's not like a tournament where like you get to the end of the tournament, because it's not your traditional Swiss rounds where you're constantly being paired with just people who are in your bracket, or like, sorry, in your same win rate, but rather it's more like a soccer tournament. You're going to be paired within everybody in your division. So whether or not they are in your win rate or not, you're still going to play with everybody. So people, there's like the IDing thing just does not happen in this format. And so it is huge. Being able to get 3 wins, 2-0 each one, big deal for the Mad Hatters. Not being able to secure a victory at all for the Illumineer's Kitchen, they are going to have to go back to the locker room. They're going to have to, or rather, I'm sorry, they're going to have to go back to the kitchen, go back to the prep station. They're going to have to talk about the amuse bouche and talk about the appetizers, and they need to figure out what this meal needs to look like, because they are going to have to come back stronger and better for next week.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to employ the help of Gordon Ramsay here, because hopefully it's not a kitchen nightmare for them. But what we're looking at here, though, it's interesting. Like you mentioned, every time we play, like we're gonna have to play every single team. So everything we do also kind of gets like I mean, especially if you're on stream, it's gonna be seen, and might not be as surprising in the following rounds. So very, very interesting. I love this format. Ever since I played from the last season, and I was watching even way before that, it's really fun. It's a completely different dynamic from like DLCs or anything of the like.
Yeah. All right, and it looks like we are ready. We've got an interview lined up. I believe we have Kyle, who we just saw. So we get to help. So, Kyle, how's it going?
What's up?
Talk to me about
so
good. I can imagine.
How much did you see? Because
we got to see just the tail end. So we got to talk about Grand Pabby. We got to talk about the tech. Talk to me about what you're doing with that deck, please.
Yeah, so the whole deck's built around Grand Pabby. And you guys missed the first game where, oh my, it was the best. I was behind. And the last play of the game was I was top decking. I had Grand Pabby on the board. And I top decked a Louisa with like 17 ink. So I really I think I had like 10
oh
lore.
My god.
I immediately go and play Louisa, move 1, gain a lore, move 1, gain a lore, move
oh
1,
my
gain a lore,
god,
and then
insane.
plus with Grand Pabby, I'm like, good game. It was a huge lore swing.
Amazing. Yeah.
What?
Oh. Every time Louisa moves, you gain lore. That's great.
And her trigger on the third one also
also gets you another 2 lore. So that's 4 lore.
So that's 4 lore off of 3 ink.
And you get to deal with a character potentially.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I'm mad I didn't think about that.
I've been wanting to make Grand Pabby work for maybe 5 sets now.
Oh my gosh.
Ever since he came out. I've always known he'd be great in purple because of the moving damage. I looked up the rules and it's remove. So removing the damage proc. So I literally had to bring the piece of paper with me, the rule book, just because I was doing like just to show people like what I was doing was not cheating. But
so
I love.
Let's talk about the levels to that, right? So like level 1 is that your opponent has to look at the card. That's level 1. Level 2 is I need to go to the rule book. I need to look at the comprehensive rules guide. Like that's the next level, dude. That's crazy. I love to hear it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I love. I'm an off meta builder. I'm using blue steel though. I'm usually a blue steel person. So when I saw I was playing against Malfurion, I was like, I'm sorry. I I messed up on the community. So like immediately, like I have to show you the spice, man. I have to show you the
Oh,
spice.
you just have to dunk on him real quick. I see you.
So, but we both been kind of like jumping on detectives at the same time. So we both were kind of. I knew he was on Blue Steel. I didn't know he was on Steel Song package, but it's a really strong package. And as soon as I saw both games, he was able to double sending me, and he was ramping like crazy. And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna hurt. I'm not gonna be able to get back in the game." Like I was sweating the whole time. I was on the draw the whole time, so it was really difficult. And I'm figuring it's a really good opponent, so I appreciate talking to him and spitting things. We were talking about Blue Steel the whole time before the game started, and telling about my decks. About like I did a KA deck, I call it Boat Snack for Richmond. I was assuming there's going to be a lot of green blue players there, and basically you drop your hand on turn 3 or turn 4. You drop your hand, and then turn 3 you drop your hand because you shift hey on turn 3.
That's right.
And then
psychedelic chicken.
Yeah, on turn 4 you could play 7 drop, which I had the 7/7 at Quest for 3. I had the Vinzatino Quest for 3.
God.
Like Hades on turn 4, I could play all these things. So just it was just amazing. Be able how much Blue Steel is like incredible, but I've been wanting to make Grandpappy work for the longest, and so I was like, I gotta show this spice off to people, and they gotta see it. I've known online someone played against me because they immediately like highlighted it online. I'm like, yeah, they played against me on duels and saw it. So I was like, I hope it. I was like, yeah, they saw it. I'm like, but it's really good. Lisa, and I also added last minute. I added in some tech. I added in Ink Runner, and I added in Lumpy, and I added in Violet because the meta is having a lot of evasives for some reason. I just started noticing even Boosty Boys has evasive with their balloons and the location. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I'm excited. What else you guys want to know about the deck? I can tell you.
Oh my gosh,
everything
I'm telling you right now,
it's amazing.
Once it's posted and we can view the deck, I'm going to be duplicating that deck and playing it as much as I can, because that was so much fun to see. I saw the Violet Par, I saw the Grandpappy, and me and Zero were like, "What are we looking at? This is
amazing."
I'm so stoked to play it. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So there's also another version. So I wasn't actually able to play that version. But it's weaker against Steel. But it uses Mickey Mouse, the 2-drop Mickey Mouse. Whenever you put a card underneath him, and then you use Jiminy Cricket afterwards. So 2, you play Mickey Mouse, then you play them 3, Jiminy Cricket. If they kill it without, if they ran into it, you move the card underneath Jiminy Cricket, you move Mickey Mouse into the inkwell. Then on top of that, your Randall Boss is the next turn. So now you're ramping up even faster. So that's the other version of it. It ramps up to 7 quickly. It's really strong into like on the draw. It's really strong for on the draw, and that's what you're trying to look for when you're trying to beat people. Because like on the play, generally you can win. It's like a 65% chance of people winning on the play most of the time. It's something up there, something crazy.
Nice.
So now you look for decks to try to win on the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we lost our ramp package with Tipo and Sale, I think a lot of people were looking at this Mickey Mouse a little bit to be like, oh, is this kind of the answer? But yeah,
I already had it built.
Oh yeah,
and I had it ready because I wanted to make a cheap version for people so that people didn't have money could actually afford to play, and still they couldn't afford the Cinderellas, they couldn't afford the things. So I built a deck that allowed them to be able to play for cheap. So I had that out in the community. Got a little hate for a second, and then I was like, hey guys, this is a budget build, like chill out. And they're like, okay, I understand.
Let's not be elitist here.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I was new to the Discord, and I just threw out something crazy and like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, hey, it's okay.
The correct answer is living my best life. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Kyle, with that said, I want to give you an opportunity, my friend, to shout out whoever it is you want to shout out. I mean, again, congratulations to the Mad Hatters on this victory. But my friend, the time is yours to shout out whoever it is you want to shout out.
Oh, definitely want to shout out for my team. Mainly reason, like we just moved here to Maryland, and teams based out of mostly Delaware, but we were going to events. Me and my son were going, and they invited me, like, hey, we see you around, we're going to set champs and things like that, and you should come to our store and come play with us. And then later on they formed a team, and then it's like, okay, this is great. We're and it actually, my son's actually a better Lorcana player than me, and so it's crazy because he's already won multiple mats, and I'm still haven't won store set champs at all. Unfortunately, but I get that gets rubbed in my face quite a lot. But it's great to see your kids do good. So I just want to shout out to him, keep improving. Shout out to my wife for letting us play. Appreciate you very much. And yeah, man, go Mad Hatters. You guys are amazing.
Nice.
Yay, Mad Hatters.
Huge shout out, and see you later, my friend. It was a pleasure watching you play. Zero, it's been so much fun getting to cast with you. I really appreciate this. I'm glad that I got to be here to see your first time here. I know it won't be your last time. You did such a great job, and I'm excited at the possibilities that we can cast more in the future, my friend. But before I let you go, I want to make sure you get a chance to do all the stuff and say all the things you need to say.
Yes, of course. Yeah, if you want to find me, I am on YouTube, Zero the Hero TCG. I am on Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter, but I am on Twitter. But yeah, I do want to give a shout out to my team, also in the ICL Lords of Lore. We're competing in the Chicagoland area is also an amazing place to play Lorcana. We have some of the best players, some of the best teams. It's like all these set champs are so sweaty here all the time. It's like never an easy fight. So I do want to give a shout out to the entire area. And yeah, I want to give a shout out to you too, my friend Gabe. I mean, you are like you said, you are the one to accompany me on my first voyage here. So I really appreciate that is you, because you're very veteran, you're seasoned, and you really guided me along in a good way, and I really appreciated your guidance here today. So
listen, man, I got your back. And actually, I just got I'm in the Chicago Discord.
I know. I saw you pop
my
in
friend,
there.
yeah, my friend Monty went. Actually, so he's working out of Chicago. He was in there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm popping into a store. They have a Discord. Do you want in?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm collecting them like gauntlets on my Infinity Stone. I want in. So he got me in there. So I cannot wait to get up there. I hope to get up there at some point.
Oh yeah.
And play at locals and have a hot dog and apparently get beaten by Josh Satterfield. That's the thing. That's one of the gym badges, is what J Bomb told me. In order for me to earn my Chicago gym badges, I have to get beat by Josh Satterfield.
He'll find you and he will beat you. It's just an inevitability if you're over here. But
oh goodness,
yeah, no, it's funny. Like you mentioned your friend. I did see him right before here. I popped into my locals. I did have to cast, so I didn't get to play, but he was there. So I hope he did well. It was fun to see him get to play against all my friends and locals too. So
that's awesome. Well, Zero, thank you so much. Make more of that content. Do what I'm not doing. Make more of that content. Do the stuff. And you let me know if you need any help. If you ever want to get back in here, you're welcome to come in, as well as all of our friends that have helped us to cast today. Thank you all so very, very much. But Zero, it's been a pleasure, buddy. I'll see you there, as we are going to get ready to raid Team Misplay. So friends, hang tight, raid with them. You can catch me on X at @ill_Gabe. Find me there, and you can always find me here at the ICL, because I love doing this too. Later, friends.